Peace to the YouTube fam and my Cam Nation people. What's good with y'all? Yeah, this is our first little live. It's my baby Raina. Y'all remember when she first came, how little she was? Look how big this bitch is now, man. Bitch head bigger than mine, right? Yeah, man. It's my baby right here. She's a good girl. Definitely a good girl. Choppers look right. Nice and healthy. But you know, that's part of the purpose of this live, man. I wanted to chop it up with y'all, man, a little bit about these Camelot dogs, man, and what it really means to run one of these dogs, man, because it's not just about they're good looking dogs, no doubt about it, right? They got that nice structure, you know, they come off looking real brolic, you know what I mean? But you got to understand the drive in the dogs, right? And what it means to have a dog with that kind of drive and that kind of size, right? So that means your power is on exponentially. That means your strength, right? Your tenacity. Like when you really trying to handle these motherfucking dogs and get them under control in certain situations, you got a lot more to deal with. Lot more to deal with. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things, man, that like, you know, I wanted to chop it up with y'all about today, man, because literally, man, taking on these Camelot dogs is a horse of a different color. You know what I mean? And I've raised, you know what I mean, so-called box dogs, right? And you want them that pocket rocket size, right? You want them relatively light, small, and all of that. With these Camelot dogs, it's a horse of a totally different color. You understand? You can't really
I lost a lot of
certain things you have to do like you would do for a normal box dog, and then other things you have to take into consideration, like if I hang a rope up in the tree, right? I don't use no chain. I don't use no motherfucking no springs, just the rope itself tied to the tree branch. Well, I guarantee. Excuse me 1 minute.
Keep it clean, keep it sprayed, and shit heal right back up. Oh, they never bugged it. She hold on.
Stay out of this. So
yeah,
the whole thing is that she liked the smell of the weed, yo. She loved the smell of the motherfucking weed. All right. Getting too happy. So anyway, my whole shit is that literally, you know, you got to do things different, B. You got to do you got to go a little bit heavier, a little bit harder. Like if I hang a rope up in a tree, you know what I mean? Like I can expect that whole tree branch to come down, right? When I put my boy on that rope, that's the goal. The goal is not for him to work 20 minutes or 15 minutes or even 5 minutes. That nigga work till that tree branch come down or the rope come off the tree. That's how we do. You know what I mean? You work till the task is finished. You know what I mean? If you don't get it today, we'll be back tomorrow. You understand? But that rope. All right, easy. All right, easy. Woo. Y'all see that? Easy. All right, easy. Hush, easy. All right, easy. This is what I'm talking about, B. This is what I'm talking about. I got this bitch with one arm and she's about to break my whole shit. She about to snap my shit right out the socket. When these motherfuckers get excited and they get going, right? You have to really be on point.
That's a family life.
All right, it's okay. It's okay. All right, it's okay.
I got
so
she gonna see him back there.
Again, like that's a perfect example. This bitch just almost snatched my shit right out the socket. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? When they get going, they get going. So when you have a dog this motherfucking size, when you have a dog that's, you know what I mean, into the kind of shit that they into, you have to be extremely careful. Just walking the dog down the street, the motherfuckers, you know, cats, other dogs, you know, anything will really, really get this little bitch going. When I walk these cam dogs, they walk the streets prowling, right? They looking for some shit to get into, and that's their whole goal, man. Let's see what we can fuck with next.
Yeah, she lost two little, so you know, my people didn't know what they were doing.
Good girl, but that's it's critical to understand, man, that if you're gonna take this on, definitely you want to get in shape, right? You want to get in the best motherfucking shape that you can get in. You know, if you lift weights, do your push-ups, do your pull-ups, you know, all that good shit, because it's literally a thing where it's literally a thing where you have to like really stay on point with shit. You know what I mean? You got to be real careful with them. I ain't break this out for you, but here, get off, leave it. Oh, these are aloe wipes, right? And they're real good for everything except eating. She ready to go, right? For everything except eating. Don't eat the shit, bitch. Damn. But very, very good girl. One of the concerns that we have with her. Okay, what's up? Damn fool. My boy Kill Bill. Repo. What's good with you, bro? You know, Saturday night, just in here fucking up, acting up. You know what I mean? Nothing spectacular. Let's see, get up here. Come on. Up. Good. Giving them the little rub down with the aloe wipes. You know what I mean? She don't play with trivia shit like this. What's good with you, bro? I purchased her. She a damn good one. I still got her. She a damn good one. Better believe it. She stay here. She a damn good one. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Yeah. Yeah, man. This little bitch, she damn near the biggest dog in the house now, man. Like she taller than both the adults. She's heavier than the female. But like she real good with the athletic shit and with the, you know what I mean, with the in the wind department. Like the little bitch got some good lungs on her. So, you know, the size ain't gonna really slow her down. But even still, I'm still looking for a way to bring my dogs, bring a little more athleticism into the program. Bring a little bit more athleticism into the program. Man, I was gonna do the breed, man. I said, I ain't bred nothing I ain't took out, and I ain't finna start. This little bitch here, this is my day one. She a good girl, but unfortunate. I wanted to do it, bro. I'm gonna just do it. But nah. Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Taking these motherfuckers anywhere, man. They on the prowl 24/7. You know what I mean? Like, them motherfuckers, they don't want to do nothing but snatch something. You know what I mean? Everything else is play. But fuck all that play shit. Where's that? What can I shake? You know what I mean? This little bitch here, man. Unfortunately, I got to rehome her. She got to go to a new home, man. She done been through a lot, B. She done been through a lot. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna try to rehome her, man, because she's more of a house pet. You know what I mean? She's the great nanny pet and all of that. But she ain't as rough as these Camelot dogs, man. She ain't as rough and as hard as these fucking Camelot dogs. You know what I mean? So when they get to playing and they be banging out, you know what I mean? It's just a thing where she gets she kind of gets steamrolled a lot. You know what I mean? She get bruised and battered a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and find her a new home. You know what I mean? But yeah, my whole purpose for this live, y'all, man, is to break down some shit, man, that a motherfucker deal with on a regular basis. And I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. Pardon yourself for a minute.
Yeah, you're a slow starter. I'm already, behind the life. I'm gonna put a mark on your ass.
So shit like this, motherfucker gotta be careful with, right? I bought this as an extendable flirt pole off of Amazon. Off, off, good. So I bought this as an extendable flirt pole off of Amazon, right? And it used to have a way of, leave it. Good girl, leave it. Good. So it used to have a way of this whole piece used to extend out, right? You could slide it back in, and then the string would tie to the end of the pole once it's extended. And so I was out there doing a flirt with the shit, and threw the string out there, threw the tees out there. The motherfucker snatched the tees, bam, and like literally broke the whole fucking spring pole. So that's that Camelot bloodline. You know what I mean? That's that Camelot bloodline. Now, this bitch right here, this bitch is bred off of Hard Time Pitts Hawk and Hard Time Pitts Jade, right? Hard Time Pitts Hawk is off of Maximum Pitts Havoc and Hard Time Pitts War Dancer. I think she belonged to War Dance at the time they bred the bitch to Havoc. But at any rate,
they've been at it all morning. I've been looking at the one. They've been going crazy. I'm supposed to be going to get this damn
Havoc is the same sire to my boy. You know what I mean? So she's got the same grandfather. You know what I mean? His father is her grandfather on the father's side, and her paternal grandmother is bred exactly the way my boy is, right? Off of two different litters. So he's off of Maximum Pitts Havoc. He's off of Havoc and White Gold. And her grandmother, she has a grandmother on her mother's side that's also off of Havoc and White Gold. Now, the other blood in her is the big meat shit. You know what I mean? She got that big meat shit in her off the War Dancer bitch. And she got the motherfucking, she got that loco shit. So, I mean, I really, really grabbed her because of her bloodline. You know what I mean? Like, there's really like that blood is hard to really capture. You know what I mean? It's a few dudes out here with some dogs, but like, only other nigga I know with the dog bred exactly like my dog is the breeder himself and a nigga in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? So
she was the one that I knew was finna die. Like she was sick.
Come here, boy. Get up here, boy. What's good? All right, boy. Take it easy. See, y'all see what happens when they get going? These big motherfuckers. All right. Look at him. He can't stand to see somebody else getting some love and he ain't getting it. Look at him. All right. Look at this shit. You get two of these motherfuckers going, boy, huh? This is what I'm talking about, B. These big motherfuckers is a lot to handle, B. So when you really want to get it popping, right? You talking about doing a litter of these motherfuckers. Be prepared for some shit, right? Some big, powerful, strong dogs. Hey, Zulu, what's good with you, boy? Tell me how them pups treating you, man. How many of them pups you still got left, bro?
That motherfucker, he go crazy about this motherfucker. I ain't never eat. The reason being, because I got a little more.
I hope y'all don't mind if I blow it down. I'm not the scary type. But yeah, this kind of shit right here is what the fuck I be talking about. They tear shit up, B. They tear shit up. Look at the muscle on that bitch. Look at the muscle on this bitch, yo. Look at the definition on that bitch. Huh? Look at the definition on this bitch.
Let me go get the stick first, because I'm gonna let him loose. I'm gonna let him run around.
I mean, she ready to let it rip. She lets it rip, bitch. And you know, I train with a fucking with a stick. That's a fucking what's the name? Y'all can see this was the extendable flirt pole. Hold up, move, girl. See that shit? And then it goes in, and it pops back out. But what had happened is I was flirt poling with the nigga, with Big Boy over there, and the nigga snatched the shit, and he broke off the whole rest of the fucking flirt pole. So I spent this money at Amazon for shit. So, as a rule, if you're running these Camelot dogs, get your motherfucking equipment industrial strength, right? That's what I'm talking about.
I like to start off a little thin in the middle. So, like,
so you keeping one?
It's hard to get it in there. You know what I'm saying? Not hard. You know, my dog like squeeze their mouth.
Yeah, real shit. Real shit. This bitch head almost as big as mine. Look at that. Look at that. And I got a dome, y'all. I got a dome. So this bitch head almost as big as mine. It's an issue. Right? She a good girl though. She's a good girl. She's very, very intelligent, very astute. But you really, really, really gotta watch the kind of shit you buy with these dogs, man. When I say you gotta watch the kind of shit you buy, it's like it's not a game. These motherfuckers here, they stay tearing up some shit. Y'all gotta pardon me. I'm about to blaze up a little bit here. So if you're sensitive, if you're the sensitive type, this may not be your scene. You understand? But that's how we do this around here. We definitely keep it simple. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. That's white gold right there. And it's funny because this shit that we call white gold, that's the same. That's my boy's mother. That's my boy's mother. So white gold is real good to us in these days and times. You understand? But I'm not gonna drag this out. Hit me back, man. Who up in this motherfucker, man? I see my boy Zulu up in here. I see, you know, my boy Repo, my boy Kill Bill, KBK. He stay on his shit. Who that, Miss Hodge? Wait a minute, I can't. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm half blind. I can't see this shit. Listen, Miss Hodge. I think no Hotep. Listen, the Castillo shit is a great cross with the original Camelot shit, right? The original shit that art started out with, right? Now, I don't even have to tell you, right? Like, I really don't mess with the bus stuff too tough, right? I don't want a band dog. I want a big pit. When I was coming up, you know what I mean? We called these motherfuckers king pits, right? The larger pits, man, that look like damn, it could damn near be a band dog or damn near be, you know, like them big brolic motherfuckers. And I'm not talking about the blue shit that was with the Razor's Edge and the Gotti shit. If you want to see an excellent example of the type of pit I'm talking about, check out Impact Kennels, right? Impact Kennels got a dog off of Rhino Kennels called Atlas. Atlas comes off of Rhino Kennels Mojo, right? That's what we used to call a king pit, right? So that's what we really after. That's why I like the Camelot dog, because it's the dog that reminds me most of that type of dog, right? And that's what I'm actually after trying to produce. So when you talk about Camelot or Castillo, I would say honestly, that original Camelot, if you could get some of that red hot shit, my peoples in Philly, they got some real nice old school big evil blood, right? That'll go nice with the Castillo shit. You know what I mean? If you want to link with them, let me know. I definitely plug you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, in my other life, I was that nigga that I plug you. You know what I mean? I plug you. You know what I mean? I got you. So definitely get at me. I fucks with this, yo. That Larry Bird. I heard you. I heard you. Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, this is our thing, man. Like, if I didn't believe that this Camelot dog was a better dog, like in some ways a superior dog to everything that's out there, I really wouldn't fuck with it. Now, are there things about the line that I want to tweak? Of course. Like, I ain't never seen a dog, man, in life that ever looked at a fucking dog that was absolutely perfect. Dog could be a double grand champion and couldn't find shit about that dog he'd like to tweak, right? Like, that's kind of what we do. That's just part of our nature. So I don't apologize for that shit. This shit about my boy I want to tweak, shit about my girl I want to tweak, but all of that is that's the idea of the Imperial program, right? We're gonna try to bring all that shit together.
You know what I'm saying? It's a bluff. And they'll work on that.
Wait a minute, Zulu, what you got on the East Coast?
Work on the bike all day. You know what I'm saying? I had him out there. Yeah. I used to love.
You talking about plans for Raina, Zulu? So my plans for Raina, she's just getting over her first heat, right? Depending upon her maturity and how she's acting, there's just one or two things I need to see from her before I'm comfortable saying, okay, I'll try to make a brood bitch out of her, right? So my plans, as they stand, is to really breed her on her third heat, right? Second heat, if she shows that type of maturity and she's really at that level, right? If she's at that level on her third heat, on her second heat, then I'll fuck with her. But honestly, I'm gonna probably wait till her third heat.
That's the only color I ever seen come in.
Yeah, Zulu, I peeped that. I peeped that. Mine on Bully, shout out. What's good with you? Love. So yeah, on her third heat, I'm gonna bring her to my boy, right? That's gonna be first. Once I get that litter, then you know, I really didn't have no major plans for her after that. I really want to see what comes out of that first litter, and that's gonna help me decide, you know, what direction the program is gonna go in. Like I said, she's an excellent dog. There are things that I do different. You know what I mean, in terms of raising her, you know, and just in training her and all of that. Like, there's definitely things I would do different. But yeah, her third heat, she's gonna go to big boy. You know what I mean?
So yeah, for a little second.
I'm surprised you got Thanos on the East Coast, but that's a good looking boy there, man. I was surprised to find that he even has Chevy in him, because he's not built like that. You know what I mean? And Cali is gorgeous. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, they on that bullshit, y'all. I'm about to show y'all something. There they go. Let me get out their motherfucking way. There they go. See that bullshit they be on?
This ain't no Jolly Ball.
Yeah. See, now he trying to mount. Raina don't like it. She trying to get in the way. And he like, why you fucking with my mojo? You know what I mean? Like, huh? Yeah. See that shit? There they go. Y'all see them live in action in their own spot, y'all. I'm hanging out with them tonight. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna let that kicked out the house, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah. Man, it is what it is. We here now. But let me see who else we got up in here, man. Y'all gotta forgive me because I can't see for shit. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm gonna put y'all up on my TV, man. So I could see all this shit clearly.
Both of them same. I swear to God.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, there we go. I can see y'all clearly now. Word, Cali is hot like that? Okay, that's what's up. You getting Camelot Peterson. See, that Peterson is that original blood, man. Yeah, hell yeah, man. These niggas be tripping, yo. My nigga say my nigga Kill Bill say he got the Larry Bird breath right now. Huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hear some nasty shit going on down here, y'all. Uh-oh. I hear some nasty shit going on down there. Sometimes when she ain't trying to feel him on her back like that, she be like, nigga. And she'll fuck around and snatch his whole head off his shoulders. Henny ain't no joke, yo. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that, yo. Like, Henny got to get rehomed. Henny got to go, yo. And it's fucked up. Hold up. I need my lighter, yo. Come here, girl. Leave that alone. That ain't for you to fuck with. Always fucking with something you ain't got no business fucking with. So, I'm about to rehome this one here. Come here, Henny. I'm about to rehome her, right? And I got to rehome her because she's having a hard time keeping up with them. And she's really the first dog I had, right? And she's more of a house dog. She was raised around children and pets and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And rehoming her is gonna be a real challenge. Look, you see it? She gonna fuck him up, yo. She gonna fuck around and bust his ass. None of my business. I just run the motherfuckers. You know, I just hang out when they tell me I can hang out with them. I don't try to act like I own them or no shit like that. Them motherfuckers do what they want to do. So yeah, man. You know, the whole thing with the Blues is that they're really good looking dogs, bro. And believe it or not, they do have a history in the American Bull Terrier world. A lot of people who try to claim that they don't know where these dogs came from, where the Blues came from and all of that shit. I can show you articles by Joe Corvino, you know what I mean, where he talks about rolling a blue dog. You know what I mean? So they was definitely around and they've been around. Like that article was back in the 1940s or maybe the 1920s even or some shit. You know what I mean? So the blue shit is not that they aren't real pits. They've been around for whatever reason. They seem to have a reputation of not having to win and not having the games. You know what I mean? To scratch. You know, like they have a reputation for being good for maybe an hour or so, and then that's about a wrap for them. You know what I mean? I don't know personally because I've never, you know what I mean, fucked with them dogs like that. I had a Raina, either bite the bitch or shut the fuck up. Thank you. So my whole shit is that hush. All that noise. So you know, I had a blue brindle like back in, damn, that was a minute ago. You know what I mean? And the dog wasn't very bright. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of shit about them that I didn't understand. I saw the motherfucker get his nose down there snatched off by a Boston Terrier, and he just wagged his tail like, let's play some more. Like no aggression whatsoever. But I seen him be aggressive with human beings. You know what I mean? And so that bothered me. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck you gonna tell me you're not dog aggressive, but you people aggressive? Kind of fucking pit is that? You know what I mean? Like that's completely backwards. You know what I mean? So I don't really subscribe to that. Be like I don't know what's going on, and a lot of people is just throwing dogs together, man. So I don't know. So you got some chaos shit, huh? Nice. That watchdog chaos shit. See, this is what people fail to understand. Those dogs are a throwback to the very same breedings that Tudor and Corvino used to do, right? So those lines are not, bully lines. If in fact Corvino and Tudor bred the same goddamn dogs and called them boys. I don't get where people get off with their logic. You understand what I'm saying? But I try to take it back. I try to go by what they went by. I try to look at what's literally here, right? I'm looking at what do this motherfucking dog do? Is this bitch gonna get busy? You know what I mean? Or is she gonna sit around and turn tail when it get real? And that's all. That's my only concern. Be like everything else to me is bullshit. You know who just posted some shit on Watchdog and Chaos too? I think your boy, who was that? Not Good Guardian K9. What's the other one, man? Damn, man. There's 2 channels on YouTube that's kind of alike. They do a lot of the same shit. Go check out Good Guardian K9 if you want to see the original Camelot blood. Like if you want to literally see a tour of Art's yard, that original Camelot, go check out Good Guardian K9. See, she don't like that fact. She don't even know why she's doing it, but what she's saying is like, bitch, I don't want you breathing. Fuck you mean he giving you a lot of attention, and I'm supposed to be in there. So eventually, you see that? See, he got a problem with it now. Now he got a problem with it. All that barking she doing almost got him started. That's some shit. I almost missed that, y'all. Y'all see this shit, right? Y'all see what I did with on a daily basis. Right, Battlebred K9, that's it. Battlebred K9. He did a joint on the Chaos, the Watchdog, and what else? He did another joint too. But Good Guardian K9 got the best motherfucking Camelot video because he got the old school art yard tour. Like that's some shit I go back and I watch. You know what I mean? Like that's you got it. I gotta give it up. He killed it with that one. I'm gonna try to get my hands on that video just for my library. So let me ask y'all a question, right? We got these bull breeds, right? We got these motherfucking dogs that's known for they drive and they motherfucking they temperament, right? And Kenny's dogs, I gotta be careful with Kenny. Kenny don't mind fucking with, So with Kenny's dogs, he's going bigger, right? He's going bigger and he's going more mastiff like. You understand what I'm saying? where that's not what I'm after. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want a dog any bigger than my male in terms of his size, his brolic, and his weight. I don't want a dog bigger than that. This bitch really got a problem. She about to start a fight. Y'all forgive me while I put her away. Go ahead. Go lay down. Go ahead, baby. Go lay down. Raina, inside. Good girl. That girl. Good girl. You can do all that barking from inside the cage, man. I know he ain't gonna snatch your ass. So she's sitting there fucking with them while they doing their little mating dance because Henny's about to go in the heat. She's 5 years old now. Well, she'll be five in the middle of the month, I think. But they, she goes in the heat, and Raina just came out of heat, and he spent so much time trying to climb on Raina and damn near breaking her back that now she expects him to try to climb on her. So when he go to climb on Henny, Raina ain't feeling that shit. Typical. Pump, what's good with you, bro? Come on through. Good to have you, bro. But yeah, like the subject of Kenny Sonia, right? Don't get me wrong, dude has produced some fantastic, some nice looking dogs. Whether or not he's actually working with his doing catch work with them dogs is a different story, right? So understand that for my breeding purposes, I need dogs that can do catch work, right? And I've seen Kenny Sonia. He posted the DNA for his dog, I think Outlaw, right? And the DNA results at 100% American Pit Bull Terrier. Now I've also heard that when it comes to like the French Mastiff, the Dogue de Bordeaux, right? That is a big red dog, but it has a lot of problems, right? You got to really be careful. And except for the jowls, like if you ever seen the movie Turner and Hooch, that's a French Mastiff, right? That movie Turner and Hooch, that dog is a French Mastiff. In French they call him the Dogue de Bordeaux, but it's a French Mastiff. But the dog is bred primarily for its color, and okay, peace, KBK, holla back, bro. But the whole shit is that if you're going to breed these dogs, understand that these dogs kind of need a purpose. These are not the dogs that do well just sitting around, right? Even letting them out the motherfucking cage or letting them off the chain, whatever you doing with them, make sure you have a purpose for that. They don't do very well when you just let them loose and leave them to them fucking selves. They gonna get into some shit. You know what I mean? And when I say get into some shit, they don't get into typical shit. They peace and solitude, black men. So they get into a lot of extra shit. You know what I mean? And because of their size and they just bullishness, right? Like pit bulls are some hard-headed fucking dogs. But these Camelot fucking dogs, oh my god. Hey yo, Zulu, man, could I get an amen on that, bro? Are these some fucking hard-headed dogs or what, B? Like, there is nothing more fucking stubborn than a fucking Camelot male, B. You know what I mean? So that's my whole point for breeding these dogs is I'm breeding catchwork animals, right? And by catchwork, I expect my dogs to be able to pretty much run down, snatch, and finish. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a lot to ask from a dog, particularly a bigger, heavier dog. If I was gonna run like Yo, real shit, bro. Yo, these dogs are what test you. What? Man, listen. They gonna put your back to the wall, bro. Real shit. I respect what Art did. Shit, Art went down for his. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not like Kenny produced pure bullshit. Now the bus dog, he ran some Chevy shit, right? But I've seen other dogs that Kenny produced that look like they could be box conditioned dogs. It's just the big mastiff style dogs that really cause a problem, right? Like if you look at my male, that's a lot of heft packed into a small frame. He's a big boy, but at the same time, he's very compact. And so that weight and that heft, it works against him at times, right? Especially in something like you talk about catch work. So if I take him out to do some catch work, I don't expect him to run that shit down. What I expect him to do is stay on hold till they done ran it down and then let him come in and finish it off. You get me? Like that's really, you have to understand your dog and what your dog is capable of, right? And you have to understand what you're working with in the blood itself, right? So especially you start talking Peterson McKenna, big red dogs, right? That's what really founded that whole big red Camelot dog thing, that Peterson McKenna thing. So keep in mind that while it's not a bad thing, like if you want to check out somebody, man, that has big red dogs, and that's working with them regularly, doing catch work with these dogs. Check out my boy. Oh shit, I forget the name of his kennel, man. But he bred some fire ass dogs, man. Jeff Benenson. Um, if you can't, I doubt if he have a YouTube page, you might be able to find him on Facebook. You said Ellis Dogs, Hotep. Who that? I think the hardest thing that I go, my biggest motherfucking problem with these fucking Camelot dogs, real shit, is the fact that, man, I can't keep nothing. I can't keep nothing. Like these niggas destroy everything. Right. You see exactly what I'm saying, Zulu. You understand? You see exactly what I'm saying. Ellis. That old KGB blood was bred specifically to catch hogs, and they were 80 plus pounds. See, and that's what I'm talking about. It's not the problem of the size of the dog. It's the problem of what's been done with the dog. You understand what I'm saying? What the dog has been used for. Because ultimately it comes out in the genetics. And this is why I'm constantly, pushing my dogs and imprinting them with different shit. I got my male when he was already 3 years old. Oh, that's that Hulk blood? Yeah, see, now that's the blood that they talking about was mixed with the Eddington stuff, the Bull Mastiff stuff, and all of that. The Whopper, the Eddington's Whopper dog, and then you got that Hulk blood. Yeah, see, all that is see, to me, now I have some major questions, right? When we talking 150, 180 pounds, if it pops out of the genetic pool once in 100 years, it's understandable. If it's being thrown constantly, that means it was somewhere in the genetic pool initially. And how would that get into a genetic pool, like that? But yeah, you talking about Ellis Eddington. Okay. Zulu, you got whose great granddaughter? Honestly, I don't know what to make of the whole dog dynasty shit, man. Um, so you got a great granddaughter off the motherfucking Hulk bitch, huh? Or off the Hulk dog. Uh, I mean, look at the pedigrees, bro. Look at the pedigrees. Um, if you want to know what to expect from them, look at the pedigrees. Look at the parents and the grandparents. Um, I think that personally, I think there's got to be something bigger mixed in there, right? I'm more interested in like an athletic dog. I want a powerful dog, right? But not necessarily powerful because he's big, right? I want that power compacted in a frame and combined with agility. And again, I know I'm asking for a lot, right? But this is the route that I'm taking when I go to tweak what I'm tweaking. So no, you can't hate on the boy for being a marketing genius. Um, I think you do have to be careful at the point that you know you are on. If you're deliberately right crossing the line into untruth, then I have to question ethics there, right? Um, Pump, Hotep, y'all killing it. That's exactly my point. You understand what I'm saying? Like I respect anybody's efforts to work their program, right? Like shout out to Bando for life. Like the man telling you exactly what the fuck he's doing and what he's breeding. You understand? And there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's a beautiful thing. American canine sentinels or American sentinel canines. Same shit. The man is breeding band dogs, and he's telling you that straight up, right? And he has a very systematic way in which he's approaching what he's approaching. Bando for life. He got a pool of blood. He's working within that pool. You understand what I'm saying? So you can gauge that and kind of know what to expect. When you start talking about the whole Chevy Eddington Whopper bus, that whole thing, that's going in the opposite direction from what I need, right? Um, my dogs have to be ready for anything from Coyote on up, right? And I'm gonna say from Coyote to Wild Boar and and anything in between, right? Even occasional wild moose, but you got to be careful, right? Uh, and that kind of shit is not the best thing for a large dog. Why do I say that? The large dogs, lot of wear and tear, lot of wear and tear. As they get older, all that wear and tear starts to wear on them. Good, good, good. So, I mean, as long as the dogs look good, you know what I mean? If the dogs are solid, man, structure wise, and they good fucking dogs, temperament wise, so forth and so on, I mean, I would expect her genetics to come out. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's about. I would expect her genetics to come out. Hotep. It's interesting that you say that, man, because a friend of mine was just telling me, man, that he was gonna move into the kind of corsos, and so I started doing some research on 'em. And good fucking dogs, beautiful. The females, you know what I mean? But I question in my mind, do I want a dog that size? And do I even need a dog that size to do the things that I want done? And traditionally, my answer comes back, I don't need a dog bigger than 75 to 90 pounds. 75 to 90 pounds, built like this. Come here, boy. 75 to 90 pounds, built like this. You understand? And that's all that's required. That's all that's required. Now imagine, good boy, stay, good boy. The whole point being that when he's in excellent shape, he can run down damn near anything. You understand? But like as he is and fresh off the couch, man, like man, I give him a hot 20 minutes to go running after something before he like you understand? So and that's another thing. Like I would tweak in these Camelot dogs. I want to know that these dogs not only have the gameness, but the wind. A dog could be game as hell, but if he ain't got the wind to go, to go around it too, then it's all for naught. You know what I mean? Like the dog has to be in an excellent condition. Chop. Tore his teeth up, man. This boy done broke so much shit out of his mouth, it's not even funny. Yeah. Just beat his fucking teeth up, man. This nigga chews on everything. Don't even matter. And the worst part is Rain is the same goddamn way. I like that early Camelot. Real shit, punk. I like that early Camelot. I like that streamlined. Like, don't get me wrong. This boy's a good looking boy. He's solid. He's great in all respects. But even for him, right? Even for him, all this up here sits so low that he doesn't have enough length of limb. You understand what I'm saying? His chest is so fucking deep. It's ridiculous. And his pops was built like that. But the thing was, his limbs came out shorter. So he didn't have the length of limb to give him the same athleticism. Right? So hopefully with Raina, we put a little bit back, we put a little bit of that length of limb back. And his gameness is not a question for me. Real shit, man. Like when I tell you the fucking um when a dog is functional, B. You can look at the dog and know when it's functional, right? So in certain conditions, my boy's in certain shape, I'll run him all day. But when he ain't in that shape, I'm not gonna run him and I'm not gonna breed him in that shape. And I think that's what happens a lot with these Camelot dogs. People like them big beefy dogs, but they're not really working the dogs. They like the look of the big beefy dog, and then they keep breeding that, but they not working these mugs, man. And these motherfuckers need work. When I say work, I mean look at his face, yo. Look at his face. Look at his face, yo. I gotta get some new stock. Like the boy it's not something that you gotta be careful with them, man, because they gonna make it happen. His mother was Gargoyle Pitts White Gold. And I know he fucked with some of that blue shit. Yeah, his mother was Gargoyle Pitts White Gold, yo. What's some more background on Gargoyle, though? Real shit? I don't know a whole lot about them, man. Break that shit down for a fella. But real shit. All right, let me ask you this, Pump. What made you say that? What makes you say you knew he had Gargoyle in him? Don't bother me about the bitches, yo. Look, he bothering me about them hoes. You see him? You want me to let them bitches out? Nah, man. Go ahead with that, bro. Nah, bro. Go ahead with that. You good. You all set. You all set with your big ass. Tell me more about that gargoyle shit, though, man. I don't even know much about that camp, yo. What's good with that gargoyle shit, right? Whoa, boy. Hotep, you say he had a lot of easty westy dogs. Whoo, Zulu. I couldn't even tell you that, bro. Honestly, I feel like if I got more than 20 dogs, I'm probably doing too much. But I could easily see it happening. I could easily see it happen. I mean, I'm talking 3 litters, right? If I got 3 litters and 3 adult dogs, that's 20 dogs, man. You understand? And I got a thing. Like, all I could say is like, I'm gonna be keeping a lot of my dogs, man. I'm gonna be keeping a lot of my dogs, man. Until I really get what I'm after, and y'all can understand, like, I'm a master chemist, B. You know what I mean? Like I'm a chef at heart, B. I love being in the kitchen cooking up the stew. And I'm trying to create the ultimate red, B. You know what I mean? Like you can't get a pure old family red nosed dog no more, right? If it is that true old family red nose, like the blood genetically, it's probably not as hot, right? It's not as game. It's not as ready as them dogs once was, as they was famous for being. It's what made them famous, right? If you get real, like, 100% genetically or foreign dogs today, they are very, very likely going to be some watered down, damn near, like show dogs. Pretty much, they're show dogs. Let's put it that way. Um, so with the old family red nose shit, you know, I want to bring it back to that. You know, I want to bring it back to what it was originally intended to be, but to keep it in that 75 to 90 pound range. I think that's a perfect, and I don't have no problem with smaller dogs. You know what I mean? Going down to 45, maybe even a 40-pound dog, but I really wouldn't go no smaller than that. And I would look for a 40-pound dog with a very heavy fucking mouth. You know what I mean? Like when that motherfucker lay his teeth on something, like you hear shit go. You understand? Yeah, hell yeah, pump. But you know how hard it is to really still find that shit? You know what I mean? You got a couple of motherfuckers that got it now. You got a couple of motherfuckers that got it. But it's very hard to find that blood, yo. I wasn't gonna blow it up, but I got a pup coming, and the whole bottom on that boy is red hot and red myth. You know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna say nothing yet. I was gonna let that be a surprise, but yeah, like so my particular effort, right, to this whole thing, like in New York State, ain't no motherfucking hogs, right? But there is a coyote issue in several parts, and some of the wildlife enthusiasts who are in opposition to coyote hunting, um, New York has made it legal to hunt coyotes with dogs. So, um, some of those who are in opposition to doing this whole, hunting coyotes thing, they've gone so far as to say that it's legalized dog fighting. I don't know if I agree so much with all of that. I think it's a bit much. Dogs are meant to hunt. If the coyote's being a pest to a farmer in the area, then dogs have always been kept to protect farms and livestock and shit like that. All of a sudden it's like, so hunting with dogs, hunting wild boar with dogs, is that legalized boar fighting? I don't know what the fuck are y'all trying to say? Like, sometimes these people get, they just do too much with they fucking, they tree hugging, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a black man. I come from the earth. I love the earth. You know what I mean? My grandmother was 75% Native American. So, like when you talk about people that are close to the earth and that are close to nature, shit, that's what I come from. That's my entire genetic existence. But I also understand that man has mind, and mind allows man to do things with animals and in the animal world that other animals are not capable of. And that is actually a gift and a curse, right? Mando, what's up, my dude? Shout out, man. What's good with you, my dude? Pump, I ain't never linked with Nando, but I was trying to link with my dude up in the Bronx. But a lot of them dudes, man, when you try to link with them now, man, like they the numbers, the email addresses ain't really what it is. I got my own little network for this kind of shit here. You know what I mean? Especially for that red myth blood and that red mythology and the fucking the red hot shit. I got a little network where my niggas keep that, so we gonna keep diving into that. Yeah, man. We was just sitting here talking about these Camelot dogs, and it's funny though, because I have so many motherfuckers that'll be like, oh, yo, they see the size of the dog and be like, that's a band dog, or that's a this and that's a that. And I be trying to explain to them, if you want to see a band dog, go look at Bando for Life channel. You understand what I'm saying? That's a man that is raising band dogs. He's breeding band dogs. So you get a very good idea of what's coming out of that. Now, on the flip side, you can also go check out American Sentinel Canines, right? And he's also breeding band dogs, right? So where Bando for Life, he's kind of keeping it closer to the pit bull genetics. The fucking American Sentinel Canines, they breeding for the bigger dogs, right? So they breed a little bit more for the Mastiff style. But regardless, when you look at the dog from the Mastiff to the pit, you can see what they putting together, yo. You understand? To me, this shit's simple, y'all. This shit's simple, man. Motherfuckers have to understand that every fucking great dog, man, that they worship on the APBT side, them motherfuckers was in the kitchen cooking. They was throwing shit together, seeing what worked, and making shit work. You understand what I'm saying? So in today's day and time, when we find ourselves doing the same thing, because when there's not a registry screaming my name, that don't work. That don't work at all. Like motherfuckers was doing the same thing back then that we're doing now. That's where the idea of the band dog came from. I've never even heard of Donovan Pinches, Hotep. That's some other shit. I have never even heard of motherfucking Donovan Pinches. But there's a few. I think there's a channel on YouTube called Adelante. They got band dogs. You understand what I'm saying? But it is just really a thing about, are you producing a functional dog? And at the end of the day, when we start talking about these dogs with these drives, right? All these dogs got high drive. Yo, Pump, that pedigree was crazy. I love that boy. Ain't never seen him, yo. Well, I seen him, but I ain't never laid hands on him, yo. But that boy right there, if you still had that boy right there, we have to do something, man. We will have to do something. I have to get something off that boy, man. Matter of fact, I might ask you to bring that motherfucking a Doberman Crossway. A Doberman what's that? A Doberman mixed with a pit. Holy shit. It's real shit, man. It's real shit. We at the stage of the game where everybody's a fucking critic, right? Because the whole world is outside looking in. But back in the days, the motherfuckers didn't have everybody all in their yard. You know what I mean? They didn't have everybody kind of scrutinizing their shit. They went back there and they did what the fuck they did, and they produced what the fuck they produced. And when it showed what the fuck it showed, then it sold what the fuck it sold. You understand? That's the game, B. And there's no two ways about that. Damn, Pump, I'm definitely sorry, man. Like, if I had known, like I'm just getting up on all this AI shit, freezing shit, you know what I mean, and all of that, and shipping shit. Like, but man, like you need that. It's a real good fucking dog. Now I've seen the Canis Panther. I've seen that too. But my ideal dog has always been what I call that king pit. And that's what my boy reminds me of. When I was a kid, it was just always them pits that was just a little bit bigger than the pocket rockets, right? and they just had that, you know what I mean? Like they still got down. Like it wasn't that they were another breed or they was mixed with anything else. They was pits. They was just some nice size pits, right? What you would think of the larger alligator and old family red nosed dogs, right? That's what I'm after, bro. I'm after a sizable athletic dog. Great muscular structure and all of that good shit is great, but I need that power, right? And I need that athleticism because in all seriousness, if my boy was to hit a coyote, he would probably fold it on the first hit. As long as he could grab hold of that motherfucker, he would probably hit that motherfucker so hard that motherfucker would. And you know, coyotes are still living by pack rules, right? And the thing about the pit bull is that there are no pack. There's pack rules, but not the same. So the coyote, once it gets hit like that, may try to fuck around and submit. The dog is not going to submit, right? The dog is going to shake the life out of that thing. And you know, Bando, we was just talking about that. You can have a decent working weight, 75 to 90 pounds, if the dog is in proper condition. That's a hell of a motherfucking dog right there, 75 to 90 pounds. Now, I wouldn't go lower than say 40 pounds, right? Um, and I'm talking about in terms of catch weight, right? A dog that's gonna really hit something, and whatever it hits is gonna know that that dog is there. And the problem with the motherfucking hogs is that with the 40-pound dogs, them hogs is gonna try to throw them dogs. They're gonna shake the shit out of them. And a smaller dog, you know, all of that shaking up of the internal organs, all of that, wear and tear on the bones and the joints, the ligaments, and all of that, that could that could end the dog's career early. You understand what I'm saying? You could end up with a dog that ends up with some real health problems later on down the line. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for a bigger, stronger, more durable dog, B. Right. 90 pounds is a lot of motherfucking dog. Right? That's a ceiling for me. Right? My boy is 74 pounds, and I call that couch weight. Like when he ain't like he is now. I'm not really working. You know what I mean? He hanging out right now. We're about to get into something in the change of the seasons, maybe, right? But 90 pounds to 45 pounds, depending upon the dog, is a sweet spot, right? So if you got a bigger dog with not so heavy a mouth, you understand what I'm saying? How does that work out? Right? If you're gonna have a heavier dog or a more powerful dog, 55 to 75, I respect that. I respect that. That's to me, if you go lower than 45, you risking the dog giving up too much to the hog, right? Um Now if you're talking a 45-pound dog on a coyote, that's a different, you know what I mean? That's different. Like you can do that. You can do a 40-pound dog on shit. I'd put a 35-pound pit on a coyote with no problem. You know what I mean? Um See, and that's what I'm talking about. If you could do 75 pounds in a hot swamp, that's a good ass fucking dog. You breed that all day, every day. You freeze that. You understand? Because that's what the fuck people need. My whole shit is you know, a small dog is gonna really need the win, right? The big dog is gonna need to bite. If that big dog can bite, he's good, right? He can put it on that hog in a motherfucking way that's and literally lay that hog down on his fucking on his back, on his side. You know what I mean? Small dogs, when they get in there, they gotta be able to hold on, B. And they gotta be able to get tossed around, tossed off, and keep coming back. Big dog is not gonna get tossed around as easily. It's a lot more work for that motherfucking hog, and if that bite is strong, I'm not so much worried about the wind with the big dog as I am with the small dog. The small dog, if I'm gonna send a small dog in there, that motherfucker gotta be in shape because that hog gonna work the shit out that little bitch. Zulu, you are absolutely right. But we're talking about consumers, right? Um, when you talk about people nowadays wanting size, that's a fact. But a lot of these people ain't gonna work that size. You know what I mean? They gonna get these big ass dogs, and what they gonna do with them? You understand? Like you see this dude, man. You see this dude? He ain't gonna leave me alone. He ain't gonna leave me alone, man. I'm gonna have to put the harness on him and take him out for a little while. Let him get some light drag work in for about an hour. Right, right, boy. Ready to go get that? Ready to go get that work, huh? 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 You ready to go get that work, huh? Huh? You ready to go get that work? Hmm? 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 That nigga pushed me right out the picture, right? Yo, the whole bulldog game to me, um, the Alapaha Blue Bulldogs, I kind of like them. They are right. That's a nice looking bulldog, but I'm scared of fucking with bulldogs for the same reason I'm scared of fucking with a lot of mastiffs, yo. Um, just the fact that and it happens to any breed. Like when them shits become popular and they develop the show line, and then shit starts changing in the structure and the dimensions of the dog, and then the actual workability of the dog, right? As the dog was bred initially as a working dog, its structure gave way to the work it was performed. It was bred for, right? Its structure reflected the performance. Um, you don't get that no more with dogs, man. And I see what you mean, Hotep, when you say you don't see too many well-bred bulldogs, especially the Scott joints. The sometimes I be looking overseas, man. I start looking overseas, man, because it's not a secret that you can't even really properly, you know, evaluate your stock here in the United States, right? Evaluating your stock for its chief attributes and desired traits. Um, it's very difficult to really get that done here in the States. So overseas, you know, you see that a lot more. You see it's a lot easier to make these types of things happen. You know what I mean? So for me, that's one of the keys to the game, man. You got to start looking overseas, man. A lot of the good blood, man, has taken a trip. Exactly, exactly. And you know what's crazy, Hotep? You know, and I agree with you, Bando. Everybody do have their ideal, right? And everybody breeds to that ideal. That's part of what this whole the love of running these dogs and having these dogs and being part of these dogs is about, man. Like really seeing bringing the best out of nature itself, right? Um, the fact that the average person will always want form over function is one of those things where, at some point you got to draw a line, right? Now, if I throw a litter of 10 puppies, I don't expect all them puppies to be working stock. I don't expect all them puppies to have what it takes to continue to have the imperial brand, right? Or the imperial label. Because we keep in heat here, right? We were like that's my whole premise. You know what I mean? We here to keep the heat. You know what I mean? This is your boy Ray Imperial, aka the Flame Keeper. Like we not playing no games with that. That's what Imperial Flame is about. We about keeping that heat. So when you tend to breed towards form, um, there's less function. You're not breeding as much for function. So if I have a litter of 10 dogs and obviously some are pet quality, then I'm gonna find them pet quality homes, but with the understanding that we're not breeding them, right? Like I'm not gonna tell you got to get the dog fixed, but you will never have paperwork to say that that dog is, you know, it has the imperial approval in terms of being bred. So I will cull it from my breeding program and sell that pup to a pet quality home or at a pet price. But in terms of breeding just for form, yeah, that to me form follows function, right? And if you're breeding for what the average person wants, this is what happened with the American Bully. If you look at the breed reclassification standards for the American Bully and what they said that dog was supposed to be in terms of appearance, what would be accepted, what wouldn't be accepted, etc. You could throw all that shit out the window. Throw all that shit out the window. Bullies are what the fuck they are. They don't give a fuck what UKC talking about. Nobody else talking about. They gonna create they shit till that shit stop running. And like these micros, exotics, these strange looking animals, man. People are going to kind of run it. You know, there's nothing wrong with a smaller dog. Like you can get a 70-pound pit, you can get a 28-pound pit. That's a big goddamn difference. But at the end of the day, if you're not breeding for the health and well-being of the breed and of the dogs, of the family of dogs, why are you breeding? Is it really just to make money? Because I'm gonna tell you, you creating some karma with that shit. If it's just about the money, you're creating some very serious fucking karma. Most people I know that's into these dogs and breeding these dogs, they doing it, man, because these dogs have captured a part of them. They can't get away from it. They would do something different if they could, but they really can't. And I'm speaking from experience. So, right, pump. You can't just sell to anybody, man. You know what I mean? Like, if I were to try to take my dog to an American Bully show, we disqualified automatically because he's gonna try to snatch every fucking thing moving. Right? His way of breeding is to snatch a bitch by the neck and pin her down. That's the way he breeds. He will literally and bitch stay still. Right? Like he breeds like fucking lions and shit, right? In Africa and shit. Um, this is why, and I'm gonna give y'all some G here right quick, man. Don't let nobody tell you what your program is. You understand? See, the uninformed public has a way of screaming bloody murder when they don't understand what it is they really want. For example, back in the 1700s, right, 1600s, back in England, they didn't know what real salt, sugar, and flour were. The shit that they was getting was mixed with sawdust, cut with all types of wood shavings and all kinds of other crazy shit. So when real salt, sugar, and flour came out, the people rejected it. They said, "What the fuck is this? This ain't what this we don't know what the fuck this is." Because they never had quality. It took time for them to understand, oh shit, this is what we was always supposed to be getting. And so as breeders, that's our fucking job, to inform the public, not to have the public inform us. The public will always scream for some fucking ridiculous shit, the latest and greatest fad. And if a breeder follows every fucking fad of the public, they're gonna find themselves producing Yorkies. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna put a Yorkie in a pit in the same room? Is you asking for a lot? You know what I mean? We are definitely at the point, y'all, where breed quality first. Breed quality first. Be honest with yourself about what you see in your program, right? And step outside of yourself for a moment to say, well, let's say, and we predominantly talking about some big dogs with lots of drive. So I'm assuming that these are catch dogs, right? Um, if you have if you are breeding for good catch dogs, that means you're breeding for good wind, good strength. You're breeding for good temperament, right? Stable temperament, enough drive to get that job done, no holds barred, but at the same time, enough stability to say when you call that dog off and tell it to stand down, especially when there are other dogs working, that dog can stand down. That's hard to do with a pit bull. But what it's been my experience that when you give that dog a task, the dog is more interested in completing the task than doing anything else. And that's important to understand about them. They are task oriented first. Everybody tries to make, take that drive and make it out to be a dog fighting thing and this, that, and the third, or dog aggression thing. It's a task driven drive, right? Like that work and completing that work, that's what's on deck. Pump, you screaming that Avant shit? Man, listen, bro. Listen. Now, again, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do, how they eat, right? Like, I'll be the last motherfucker to tell you how to eat. But I don't even like watching my dogs get older, right? I don't like seeing my dogs slow down and lose a step and you know just not having quite the spring in their step that they once had. I hate that shit. If I have a fucking young dog that can't perform, that can't bounce around, that can't run, that can't do shit, the fuck did I get a dog for? I'm just saying. To me, that's bullshit, yo. That's some backwards ass shit. I don't even see why you know long haired pits. Get the fuck out of here. What y'all talking about? Hold up. long-haired pits, exactly what is that? Pump, I definitely agree with you. That Avant blood is horrible. But Zulu, that long-haired shit you talking, that shit should be banned in 48 out of motherfucking 48 continental states. Fuck is that? Yeah, man. See all of that extremism and all of that. You're gonna find that from a performance standpoint. Those are great dogs to look at, right? Y'all see what this nigga do? Like when he come through, he just fuck up everything. Nothing lasts around these dogs. I want y'all to understand that shit. Nothing. Nothing lasts around these dogs. Look at you. Come on, man. Look at you. Look at you, man. Yeah, definitely put me on to that shit, man. Let me know, man. What the fuck is that shit about? I ain't never heard no shit like that. Yeah, this boy a goddamn fool. What you bothering me about, man? Do you know every time this nigga climb on me like this nigga be punching me in my stomach? I'm gonna let him get some sleeve work one day. Let y'all see what that look like. This boy crazy with it. Stay trying to push me around. Why you trying to push me around? Yo, that Avant bloodline is some bullshit. That's what it is. And I hate to say that, man. I hate to say that, but that's some real bullshit, man. Like, and to me, you're not really doing no favor, man. You're not doing nobody no favors, man. Like you really fucking up. You fucking them dogs' lives up. Like that's a miserable fucking dog, B, that can't move and function normally. Like that. I mean, it's like a fat kid that got to sit on the sideline to watch all the other fucking kids play. You know what I mean? Like, Rage, what's good, yo? Yeah, that big evil shit. Talk about it. Hell yeah. See, Pump, that's what I'm talking about. Like a lot of motherfuckers definitely started taking this blood in directions where it didn't belong. And there was a little outcry from the community about that shit. Like, you motherfuckers is breeding these big sloppy ass fucking dogs. Y'all need to bring that shit back into well-bred functional dogs. And so a lot of them dudes that had that Avant shit, you'll see if you shop around a little bit, a lot of motherfuckers clean that Avant shit up. They if they had it and they was doing certain shit with it before, they clean that shit up a lot, man. You tell me, Rage, what's good, yo? Huh? Huh? What's good? How that girl doing, man? Shit. Now, y'all go check out Lady of Rage. Go check out that little bitch there. That 6 times danger zone. Like when you talk about something that it falls underneath that Camelot universe, but it really is its own thing. You understand what I'm saying? That danger zone thing, man. Listen, you put that with the right Camelot shit, and that's what you got fire. You understand what I'm saying? You got fire, man. Yeah, real shit. But you see, Pump, this is what a lot of people did, man. You understand what I'm saying? They started breeding for that extreme look, right? And it was just really considered it was just such an extreme look that motherfuckers was really blown away by the appearance. But then we found out these dogs wasn't living long at all, B. We found out these dogs having serious health issues, and functional issues, and all of that. And so there was an outcry from the community to kind of like scale that shit back, curb that shit. So a lot of dudes stopped breeding that stupid, extreme, sloppy shit. But you still have to be careful. You still got to be careful. If it got that Avant blood in it, you definitely want to make sure that that shit has been taken in a direction that kind of shores up a lot of those issues. Listen, Rage, you already know when I mean, I'm gonna give this bitch maybe two more heats. I was just telling the fan, I'm gonna give this bitch maybe two more heats. You know what I mean? Her third heat, latest, we going in. Now, if in the next, say, 6 months, she should show me some things that I consider, critical to breeding her, and she should show me those things. She's pretty much shown me everything I wanted to see. It's just one or two things, that I have to have, verification on. And then she may be bred on her second heat, and that's only because I'm dealing with extenuating circumstances. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make some moves, so um, we trying to get hold of a nice piece of land. Now, let me ask y'all, man. Yeah, they cleaned up the Avant a little bit, man. Absolutely, Zulu. Real shit. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I mean, I've been waiting to have a minute where we could just sit here and chop it up like this, man. And I apologize, y'all, but I be on some shit, man. Like I was been supposed to get out that third breed reclassification video. I still ain't get to that shit. But it's like a thing, man, where we constantly working on developing these dogs. And that's always taking something in a different direction, right? Like the last video when I put up the little coyote hide, we've been working with that hide. You understand what I'm saying? And again, coyote hunting is legal in the state of New York. You understand what I'm saying? It's legal to hunt coyotes with dogs in the state of New York. So that's the route we trying to go. We trying to get these dogs some actual motherfucking, you know, game time experience, right? So then we know what we're breeding, right? Because each of these dogs are coming from different breeders, right? And having the blood and the genetics is one thing, but who handled the dog, how the dog was raised and trained, all of that makes a major difference. My bitch's great grandpa was Tiger Two's belly mate brother. He was a monster. Rest in peace, Big Scrappy. Oh hell yeah, yeah. You know, it's no secret, man, that if you really want to get the best stock, right? Like shout out to Zulu. You was saying how you got that Peterson blood coming. That's where you want to go with your program, bro. That's where you want to go with your program. That is that original old, big, red, working blood. You understand what I'm saying? Oh shit, word. All right. See, now we got a Cam universe going on up in this motherfucker. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we live for, man. Now, my whole shit is this, right? Um, when you're breeding for specific, like, if you wanted to see one particular trait, right, in your dog that you would say, okay, I found this trait in this dog. I absolutely must breed this trait into my program, right? What trait, what characteristic would that be? Y'all let me know. Because honestly, I feel like I want my dogs to have high drive, but I also want my dogs to have stable temperament and intelligence. Yo, honestly, between you and me, Zulu, and I guess, everybody that's chilling with us, I love what you started out with, the Thanos and Cali combination. I love that combination. I love the fact that I think they're going to throw some beautiful dogs in the future. Yo, he ain't doing this shit because he loved me. He doing this shit because there's a bitch in the heat in the cage and he trying to get at her. Like, this is not love. This nigga's insisting that I let him in there at that bitch. That's what this is about. But you gonna stop fucking with me while I'm trying to smoke, my nigga. Yeah, I love the Thanos dog off of Zulu, and I love the motherfucking Cali dog, and I love that combination, bro. I love that combination, Zulu. I think that's a money shot right there. See, that's what I'm talking about, punk. Because I'm trying to get back to that original shit. When I picked up my boy here, you know what I mean? Like, I picked him up, he was already 3 years old, right? And I picked him up because I knew what I was looking for in terms of appearance on a dog, right? And I was really more interested in seeing what the blood was about, seeing what these dogs really do. And I ain't gonna lie, I misjudged them. You know what I mean? When I got these dogs, I didn't expect them to be this fucking hot, yo. Like, literally, I ain't know these niggas was gonna be this hot. Like, I expected them to have a little attitude. You know what I mean? Like, maybe something on the level of an Akita, something like that. I ain't expect these niggas to be red hot, pit hot. You know what I mean? And that's all Cam is, man. This shit red hot. So yeah, yeah, bad new real shit, right? You want to get his mind right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do around this motherfucker. But man, oh man. But yeah, we trying to get back to the old blood, y'all. We trying to get back to because and we was talking about this earlier, Rage. That Kenny Sonya stuff. You know what I mean? Now, some of his line he bred down off the bus dog, and you know, the bus was off the Eddington dog, and that was all like, mixed with the Bull Mastiff stuff, the Whopper stuff, and all of that. So that's where the Chevy blood comes in. This boy here, although he is off of Chief, he's not, he that other stuff is not in there. You know what I mean? Like that Chevy stuff is not in there. One of the things that I did notice is that these dogs have a certain structure about them. Like they just muscular fucking dogs to begin with. You know what I mean? That's a unique trait in terms of how they roll, how they come out. Like you be seeing the puppies be looking fucking diesel. You know what I mean? Yo, if either one of y'all got pictures of the tiger too, bitch, shoot me an email on that, man. Yeah, send me an email on that. Ray said, I know old heads that tested the cam blood. Talking 30-year plus dog, man, that will guarantee that they go. Right. Understand that drive is second to none. My whole thing is this, bro. I'm just to a point where let this nigga get his rocks off and chill him out, right? He's already shown me what he gonna do, and I'm beyond the point where, like, I never asked him to prove shit to me, and he proves it constantly. He proves it constantly. If I'm not watching this nigga, I got a problem. Lots of legal problems, right? He's that dog. He's an asshole, right? He's an asshole. I can admit that about my dog. My dog is an A1 fucking asshole. There's no getting along, right? Either he's mating or you're not part of the pack. Fuck up out of here. That's him. He A1 asshole. You know what I mean? If it's a bitch, he's mating. Ain't no other males around, right? What we gonna do, Pump, is we getting back to that. Hotep, I've seen some of the crack kennel stuff. Again, it just seems like there's a lot of breeding for appearance going on there. You know what I mean? Like seems like people are really more concerned about form there than actual function. It's great to have a hot dog, but is it a functional dog? Can the dog work, man? You understand? Even when my boy is fat and lazy, like this motherfucker go hit that spring pole and will stay there until it's time, until the sun burn out. You know what I mean? Um, there's just certain shit I don't agree with people, man, fucking around like doing with dogs, man. I think you really hurting the dog itself. And how can you say you love the motherfucking dog if you ain't giving it the best 100% opportunity to live the fullest fucking life, right? You want a strong, healthy, energetic, and vibrant dog, man. You know what I mean? Like, you want them confident and all of that. So, if you get a fucking compromised dog, if you got a dog that's, its structure ain't right, and then you let that dog out amongst the other dogs, not only are they gonna run rings around that dog, that dog is gonna develop a complex, yo. And you would think that like that's just some human shit, but I watched my female husky go blind, and before she went blind, she was the sweetest fucking dog. When she found out she couldn't run and play no more, that bitch got ornery. And if a dog even approached her, she would flip. She couldn't stand the smell of another dog after she went blind. See all that Jack Boot shit, all that scooter shit. That's what I'm after, bro. That's what I'm after, man. Sometimes it really drives me crazy, man, to see what's out there. Um, it bugs me to know, man, like, in this game you gotta be careful, man. Art had a hell of a yard, man. He had a hell of a yard. But when he took that fucking L, man, motherfuckers that was Rocket Fire produced the Jack Boots dog. Jack Boots was the two-time winner. Matter of fact, Rage, I think me and you was talking about that, man. Rocket Fire is the sire for Jack Boots. I don't know if he directly sired Jack Boots or he's the grandsire. But and Jack Boots was the two-time winner. It's so fucking crazy, man, because we have to, like, it really is incumbent upon motherfuckers today to get back to what was originally intended. You understand what I'm saying? Because so much has been done to appease the public, and like the real vision has been lost, man. You know what I mean? That's why I adopted the whole name Imperial Flame Kennels, man, because that heat, that there's no substitute for that heat, for that drive. Like that shit takes over the game. You understand what I'm saying? And when that vibe, when that energy expands, big, like somebody has to be able to say, listen, we're gonna keep this under wraps and we're gonna keep this going. You know what I mean? And we're gonna keep it going in the original vein and design in which it was meant for. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people is they love the look of the dog, right? And then they get the dog and don't know what the fuck to do with this thing. They love the look of the dog. Like if you see the Bruiser dog, Bruiser was a beast, good looking fucking dog, right? But man, not necessarily the type of dog that you want to have around a whole bunch of other dogs. He don't play well with others. You know what I mean? Rage, thank you. Thank you. Rage, thank you. Yes. And that to me is like that is so key. That is so key because it's a trait you normally find. And Bando, you could back me up on this. That's a trait that you normally only find in band dogs, right? That stable temperament to be able to personally protect, and just that nasty streak where it could get down and put something and shake the life out of something. You know what I mean? Something on four legs, so to speak. So that personal protection aspect, that's some real ass shit. That's what we've been working real closely with Raina on. I don't know if you caught that little I don't even think I post that. Shit. My bad, y'all. I got a fucking video I was working with Raina on the fucking personal protection shit. I ain't even post that shit yet. I'll be slipping sometimes. Y'all gotta, that's my bad. Y'all gotta forgive me on that. Listen, man, these bitches are smart, man. These bitches are smart, 100%. They the truth. They the truth. Um, I'm trying to get to the point now, man, where we can literally get out, man. And I don't know, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. Everybody here, man, is about working them dogs, man. And Rage, y'all ain't but so far away. We might get together and collabo on some shit and maybe lease some land for a little bit and let them dogs go do what they do. You know what I mean? Um uh like I was telling them earlier, I'm definitely taking this bitch in the direction of coyote hunting. Now with my male, not so much. Not so much. Not that I don't think he could do it, but he's not at the age that I would like to start a dog on some shit like this, if that makes sense. Not that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I want the dog trained from the very beginning, because a lot of times I'm going to let them go and I don't want them turning on each other. And his ass, when he gets to a certain level, he blanks. He blanks. I done tried to stop him from motherfucking dogs before and tried to get in his face, and he wasn't really aware that it was me, man, and his mouth turned in my direction. You understand? So, like, you have to really, really be super, super careful. And so, him, I don't know if I would turn him on to that. But the pup, I'm definitely like, that's gonna be a project with her. We're gonna go ahead and let her get into that a little bit. Zulu fam, absolutely. You stay blessed and stay focused as well, bro. And I'm gonna be doing a few more of these lives, man. You know, when I got the dogs out training them, man. Um, I just got a bullshit fucking phone that's not even worth trying to do a live on. I lost a Galaxy Note, and after I lost the Galaxy Note, it was just like, man, fuck these phones. I'm not spending $1,000 again. But ultimately, I am. I'm gonna spend that money again, and I'm gonna get a decent phone, and we'll do a live, man. You know, with the dogs out actually doing their thing, man. Um, you're right, you're right. But I gotta find. See, like this is my thing. I really want them to hunt coyotes in teams and packs. I hear you, Rage. But if I'm sending them out in packs, I can pretty much, you know, Raina, I still have a lot to learn about. So I'm not going to, just automatically give, but I can teach her, right? She's still 10.5 months old. So, like, she's being taught. With him, man, once he gone. You know what I mean? So that's a challenge. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. That's something I definitely consider bringing him into that, but he kind of got to do that by himself. And I don't want him running off after a motherfucking coyote, because they'll lure his ass into a pack. You understand? So he go by himself. That's an issue. If he goes in with other dogs, that's an issue. So I kind of, I'm trying to work it out. Yeah, the boy's super smart, Rage. I tell you that. That boy has a hunting IQ, and that's rare to see in a fucking dog. You know what I mean? Like he has just amazing instinct. Amazing instinct. When I tell you, like, man, I've seen him do shit. The other dog went in one direction, and I guess she went after the prey where it actually was. This motherfucker, normally you would see dogs take off all in the same direction, right? This nigga went in a completely different direction. He made a beeline straight into the fucking bush. And sure enough, before the bitch chasing the fucking, I think it was a groundhog or some stupid shit, before the bitch chasing the shit could get to it, he had already headed the shit off. It was like, I think he knew where the den was. And so he figured the shit was going to the den, and he just headed it off before it got to the den or something. I don't know what the fuck. But man, you heard that fucking smack. it was like he slammed that shit up against a motherfucking tree or some shit, and all you heard was and you know, by the time I got there, man, it wasn't even nothing left to play with no more. You know what I mean? Like that shit wasn't squeaking, twitching, nothing. By the time the other fucking dog got there, wasn't nothing left to do. Like the nigga did his thing, B. Like I don't trust this nigga with no other motherfucking male dogs, man. And females, I have to be careful if they are showing aggression. Like just now when we was in here and you know him and Henny's doing the mating dance because he always knows when they're about to go in the heat before they even know. Right? he tips it off. So Henny's about to go in the heat. He's over here already trying to climb on Henny. Raina's in his face, barking. He almost turned on the bitch, yo. And I get that, you know, he's in kind of his mating mode, and obviously nothing's supposed to intervene and interrupt in that. But this is what I'm saying about him. He's not really limited to certain shit. In his mind, a little too much aggression means it needs to get snatched. And it doesn't really matter which way you showing that aggression. Right? So that's his thing. And that's what we want to breed back to. Rage, that's exactly what we want to breed back to. We want an athletic dog no matter how big the dogs get. We don't want a dog that has trouble breathing. We don't want a dog that has trouble keeping a whole lot of wind. But I don't expect a bigger dog to be as athletic or have as much wind as a smaller dog. That's that's just common sense. Heavyweights ain't gonna move at the same rate that lightweights do. At the point that you get a heavyweight that can do what a lightweight does, then shit, game over, right? With the larger dogs, I want them to have that mouth. I want them to have that punching power, right? I want them to have that when they go in there, they punching that hog in the mouth, right? When they hit what they hit, that thing is folding like, oh, wait a minute, what was that? Oh, whoa, right? That's the reaction I want when my boy hits something, right? And so that's what we breeding for. That comes with a certain amount of athleticism, that comes with that good structure, and that comes with that drive and that power, or the drive and the wind, I should say, right? I need the dog to be sturdy, man, to still have a heavy bite after it's run a distance. You know what I mean? You'll see some people simply flirt their dog almost in a 360-degree circle around them. You know what I mean? They'll do the figure eights, but the dog is very close in a very small area. And that's great for box work, right? But when you're teaching a dog to hunt down prey, you want him to get the flirt pole. You want him to grab it. You want him to give it a tug. Because after he's been chasing it down, you still want to see that he has that mouth to grab, hold, and shake. And that's very important. So even the way you flirt your dog is going to be mad different than the way you would with a box dog. And this is the kind of shit that, like I could go on for days. You know what I mean? Like I could go on for years, but it's a whole different mentality. No, he damn sure can't. He can't. I wouldn't trust him hunting in a pack until I really, really worked with him. Really, really worked with him. I could not guarantee that because once he gets his prey, he's possessive, right? And so another dog snatching at that same prey is going to ignite his aggression. And especially it's not no man when he going when he put the kibosh on it, like I would just let him go and do his work. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw, nigga. Get in there, get the hog, man. Get it by yourself. You know what I mean? Just because if I sit around and try to manage it, you know what I mean, with other dogs, I just I don't see that going well. I don't see that going well. Not knowing him. You know what I mean? I don't see that going well. Now, Raina, I believe she could be taught. I believe she could be taught to snatch something. Um, this asshole here ran up on a husky one day, and it was my fault because I was switching out leashes and let the nigga get behind me out of sight. And I guess he saw this guy walking with his husky. He ran straight up on the fucking dog, right? Um, so of course, that whole gotta separate dogs thing went down. But in the process, Henny was also off leash and Raina wasn't. I had Raina in my left hand. And so as I go to reach out and grab him and get him off of the husky, I'm still trying to hold on to Raina with this hand. And this bitch is lunging. She's lunging. And she managed to get in there and get a little grab of the motherfucking husky. And I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? She grabbed the back part of him, but she ain't, you know what I mean? So I managed to get her off, and then get him off. And I had to literally command Henny. You know what I mean? I had to instruct the owner of the other dog how to separate his dog and Henny. And once he had them separated, I was able to command Henny to lay down and stay there so that they all calm down and then call Henny to me. And then let dude walk away with his dogs, with no bullshit. Listen, I want people to get it fucked up. I really do. I'm really hoping that these cats with these little box dogs, you understand what I'm saying? Think they just gonna run up on a cam dog and it's gonna go sweet like that. The power and the drive, I've seen it happen, will leave a smaller dog in you can't just go uphill. See, it's one thing to go uphill against a dog that doesn't have the same drive, that doesn't have the same deep gameness, right? That has that same level of, you know, you can't take a 40-pound dog, put it on a 70-pound dog with the same drive and expect that 40-pound dog to come out a winner. It's just not. You're not really. Yeah. You're not. No. Listen, and rage. I ain't even want to let this out, but I'm working on another motherfucking male pup, and that whole bottom is all old school cam shit. We talking that old red hot shit. We talking that old, you know what I mean, red myth shit. Like that's where we trying to go. Pump, I'm getting ready to order a half dozen more. You hear me? Because I'm gonna need them bitches soon. Let me ask y'all though, like, y'all ever heard of the big meat dog? Tell me what y'all know about the big meat shit. That big meat shit, yo. They brought Big Meech to a bitch named Lisa Ray, right? Big Meech and Lisa Ray. Keep them names in mind. Search these pads if you get a chance. I want to say it was Titletown Kennels, TTK, Big Meech, TTK's Lisa Ray, and TTK's White Gold. We may have the White Gold bitch coming soon. We may be bringing the White Gold bitch to the camp. So that's gonna be some important shit. I wouldn't even tell them motherfuckers it's a cam dog. I would just let them think it's a bully and run up on it. I know I'm wrong, Rage. I'm wrong. But guess what? I'm gonna collect every dime. Every dime. Just for niggas being stupid, right? Just for niggas being so ignorant that you run around here chasing labels and fads and, you know, just listening to what other motherfuckers is telling you and not evaluating what's in the palm of your hand. If you can't evaluate exactly what you have on your hands, then what the fuck I'm gonna say? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell you different. No, I'm gonna let you go ahead and let me get that money out you. Pump, I love what you do, bro. I love what you do because that perspective from that far back, you know, like, and I'll be honest, y'all keep me on my A game. Y'all make sure I research the shit out of what the fuck my next move is gonna be. That's what made me decide that, you know, literally we got a good thing going here and I like this side of things, but we're gonna go for that closer to what, you know, what it originally started out as. You know what I mean? Listen, about that power thing. Like when I tell you this little bitch here, she's ridiculous. And she don't even show that. You know what I mean? When you look at it, you don't think, oh man, that bitch is, you know what I mean? Whoa. Man, listen, take that bitch for a walk. Take that bitch for a walk. And at night, you know what I mean? After she snatched her first little possum, now when we walk at night, man, listen, that bitch get a good workout. She in there humping, pulling. Like I gotta really, really like be on my A game. I really believe what art was moving towards was possibly the best fucking the best fucking dog. Really, really, in terms of not just appearance and temperament, but actual performance, right? Actual motherfucking and I love the idea of proving the dog. He tried to run a Corso. Oh my god, man. And I respect that plan, punk. I respect that plan, yo. I respect that plan, yo, because everybody knows in their own mind, man, what the epitome, what the pinnacle of a dog is. And I'm gonna tell you what I love about your dog, Rage, about your bitch. Back in '94, um, I was out in LI, right? And I had a husky back then. The bitch had just gone blind. And one of my little partners from Spanish Harlem had a little bitch named Dottie, little pit. And Dottie was, she almost looked like the bit like the little shit in the Little Rascals, right? But Dottie was that bitch that you could send that bitch up the side of the tree to grab the tree branch, and she going up there, she gonna get the tree branch, and she gonna hang right there. She not coming down. She not gonna do nothing. You gotta go get that bitch, right? You have to climb the tree yourself to go get the dog down. Dottie was that kind of a little bitch, little pocket rocket. Um, so Dottie was responsible for bringing my husky out. My husky became dog aggressive, fucking with Dottie. Um, so when I moved to LI and my husky had gone blind, my landlord had two pits. One named Davo, big black 10-month-old, what we call king pit, and then he had a little red nose named Cognac. And Cognac was about 6 months old, and she was the color of a bright, shiny copper penny, a brand new copper penny. That bitch was amazing. At 6 months old, man, oh my God, that bitch just, I mean, and you have to understand that I had a few months with her, just working with her and learning her, and then she fucked around and got hit by a car. And I've been looking for that same fucking dog ever since. So when I seen Rage, when I seen Yuppa, I'm like, yo, that little bitch, that bitch reminds me of Cognac. That little bitch right there and Cognac was a bitch, man. I could send it into a motherfucker's lap to snatch his bicep at 6 months old. Or I could send that bitch to work on a dog bigger than her. Like, she wasn't no slouch. She wasn't no slouch at all. I got one of my partners now, man. He trying to link to a Corso. He trying to link to them Corsos. And again, you talking about a dog that's going to give away 150 pounds. You talking about a 150-pound dog. But can that 150-pound dog do what my 90-pound dog or 75-pound dog can do? Right? And if that goes wrong, how does that shape up? What does that end up looking like? You know what I mean? I don't know how deep they go, man, them Corsos. But my boy was talking about getting a Corso. He was talking about he had a pup coming. He trying to make some moves. So, um, it's one of them things where like, yo, literally, I think I think it could go bad. It could go bad. Honestly, that's my dude. I love him to death. Um, I wouldn't want to see my dogs and his dogs get into it. I don't know what Corsos are capable of. I do know what my dogs are capable of. And against a bigger dog, I'm not going to be the first one to grab my dog. That's one thing I fundamentally disagree with. I've seen people, another dog is being aggressive towards their dogs, and they grab their dog and try to put their dog behind them. No. Whoa, boy. Watch that. That motherfucker's running up on you. Keep that dog right in front of you, and if you have to, let that motherfucker go to do what he need to do. Right? To defend and protect his fucking self. So if it was to go down between my dog and kind of Corso or something like that, I'm not grabbing my dog back. In fact, I think that's kind of more of what he would need in order to kind of test who he is and how far he'll go. You know what I mean? Rage, real fucking talk. Real talk. See, when I first moved up this way, I was using I kind of had to set up as both. But their kennels were actually rooms in the house that I owned. So each dog kind of had their own room. If I felt like that particular dog did better with company, those two dogs would be in that room. But they spent the majority of the day on the chain outside. And then at night, when I was pretty much done for the day, I would go ahead and bring them in the house. Let them bed down for the night. Basically, they're empty. My dogs go to bed empty. I don't play too much of that. Going to bed with food on their stomach. So that's how I was doing that, pump. I was really doing change by day and kennels room slash room setup at night. Now I just do this little kennel spot. This whole little joint that you see right here is just a spot. You know what I mean? This is the boom boom room. It's where I come in. I kick it with them. Um, that I call it the dog house because that means I'm in the dog house, literally. But that's a different matter, big. Um, Fucking with these cam dogs, man. These are, I honestly believe, the best fucking possible dogs you can have. So long as motherfuckers have been doing the right things with them. If you got that original shit and you keep taking it down that road, I think you got the best fucking dogs because they have that. They have that ability. Like when I first got my mail, the motherfucker went through the fucking the living room window of the rental property at one of the tenants who was walking up to the back door. Natural protective instinct. I ain't train him. I ain't say watch. I ain't do none of that. That motherfucker seen something approaching the door. That nigga said, ugh, and hit that motherfucking window, and the glass just said, bah! Oh, well, yeah. Okay. My bad, boy. Come sit down. What you want me to do, right? Fix the fucking window. But that type of power is the reality. And that's really how I started this live off. We was talking about the difference, of having these fucking cam dogs, right? Simple shit. Nothing lasts. Nothing. I don't spring pole my dog with a normal spring pole, right? I fucking put a rope on a tree branch, no spring, no nothing, and let him get up there. And that motherfucking rope is his spring pole until he brings down either the rope or the fucking tree branch. And invariably, he will bring down one or the other. He tears shit down. This was a spring pole. I'm sorry, boy. I bought this fucking dumbass spring pole from Amazon, right? Ordered this shit, thought I was doing something slick. It's the extendable. Bang, look at that, right? Well, the minute he snatched the motherfucking tees on this shit in midair, he took that whole shit with him. It just kept going. It just kept going. Left me holding this shit right here, like, okay, good shit. I don't know. All I know is that they look like big, capable dogs and all of that shit. I don't know anything that really has the grit of the American Pit Bull Terrier, right? Like what makes these dogs what they are is their ability to withstand pain. And I have yet to see the dog that can do that. I have really yet to see that motherfucking dog, man. You know what I mean? That other dog breed that takes a punch the way the American Pit Bull Terrier takes a punch and then keeps delivering. You know what I mean? Like, biting the pit is like you ain't do nothing. Mm, damn. But see that and rage, that's the thing, right? And you know, for most motherfuckers, I don't even know, like let's just put it this way. You gotta know your dog, right? You gotta know your dog. You know goddamn well, right? If your dog could stick around for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you know goddamn well if that dog is gonna give you everything he got in the first 45 fucking minutes, and if it don't get done, then fuck it, he's gonna go with his last breath, right? Like you have to know that your dog, and that's that cam blood. You know, they definitely the barnstorming type, but the thing is, they typically get that job done early. When they are set to task, it doesn't take them long. They don't have to spend a whole lot of energy accomplishing the task because they tend to put things in perspective pretty quickly. And so they don't need a whole lot of wind. Wow. Crossing presses into the cam blood? I mean, everybody got to do what worked for them. Um, that's a huge dog with a lot of fire. Um, and the way cam blood can be stubborn, I don't know if I like that. Yeah. And the Presa Canario is it's more of a mastiff mollister type dog anyway. So that's already like human aggressive, right? And then you put the cam, that's a lot going on there, bro. Well, I mean, a stun gun is no different than a shot collar, honestly. You know what I mean? A stun gun and shot. I get it completely. The shot collars, when the dog really want to go, man, like you gonna have to turn that thing up. That little vibratory level is not gonna really cut it. And you know, I'm that old school hard head dog dude. Like I shouldn't need no shock collar. My dog should listen to me. My dog don't listen when he hot. I don't give a fuck what I say. I don't give a fuck what I do. When he's on hot, I'm non-existent. I gotta accept that. There is no amount of motherfucking training in the world when he's really on go, right? Like if he's in a dog fight, I have to separate him. When he's in battle, right? It's different when we with the sleeve and it's me and him because he knows he's not in a real fight. He gets to let some of that aggression out and tussle and all that. But he ain't in that situation where he can just blank the fuck out and he's trying to stop whatever it is that's moving from moving. They could ban the prong collars and the shot collars. I'm just glad they legalized this shit here. I was planning on moving out of New York. Now I might stay a little while. Yo, it is hard for me to believe that, and you have to understand, I'm talking from a standpoint of a dude that has been dealing with a particular line right, of Camelot dogs. And the consistency that I see in these dogs is almost scary. Like you don't see this type of consistency in temperament, appearance, structure. You don't get that very much in your average box dog litter, right? You get all types of dogs turning out. Um, these motherfucking cam dogs show a fucking consistency. Like I keep saying this to people, man, and I don't think motherfuckers done really heard me clearly. This is a one-off. You cannot classify this dog as any fucking thing out there. I mean, if you're gonna stick to breed standards, very difficult to put it in that American Pit Bull Terrier category because of the size and the weights. Can't put it in the American Bully category because of the motherfucking drive and the temper. And thirdly, the working pit bulldog is supposed to be a leggier, more bred for weight pulling type of dog. These dogs were not bred for weight pulling. These dogs were bred for drive and temperament. They were bred for performing the work of catch work. Right? So either you're going to give the dog its props for what it is, and you look at the genetic consistency over the last 30 years. You pull up that old Rocket Fire, that old Camelot yard video of Art, Good Guardian Canine. Good Guardian Canine got a nice old yard video of Art, man, of Art doing a yard video. Old school joint, man. Definitely check that out. I watched that shit a few times. But my point to it is that the genetic consistency, right, shines through from Duke on down. And that's the part that really has me saying to people like, you're not really paying attention to what's going on. If you think these cam dogs is anything other than what they are, yeah, I mean, if I wanted band dogs, I would, you know what I mean, I would go ahead and just start with a Mastiff. You understand what I'm saying? Like to produce that steady red gene, right? If you can call it that. Red is actually recessive. Um, they would have had to use Dogue de Bordeaux. And this is just you know, my ruminations. This is just my philosophizing, my theorizing about the whole creation of the Chevy line. Um, to me, they would have had to use French Mastiff, Dogue de Bordeaux. And those are not the most structurally sound dogs. Those dogs have a lot of problems. And for that reason alone, I don't want to fuck with that. You understand what I'm saying? Um, Genetically speaking, if they went into that gene pool and you don't know what type of dog the Bordeaux, you know what I mean? Like you got some champion dogs that are definitely, you know, structurally sound and they've had all the fucking tests and all of that shit. And the dog we talking about is the Turner and Hooch dog, right? So that's a French Mastiff. In order to create the Chevy dog, I believe they had to go to the French Mastiff. And those dogs are not very soundly bred. They're a mix of a lot of shit. and they were bred as much for their appearance than more so for any work. And again, that's never a good mix for me. If you start with that, then you might as well just count me out. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want a dog that was bred to work. I want working lines. Listen, that's something I'm struggling with now. You know what I mean? Like on some real shit. Um, with the power, right, and the drive, the intensity. Nothing fucking lasts. I have 3 motherfucking crates, 3 wire crates in this motherfucking building here, and Raina has broken out of 2 of them. No, I'm sorry. She broke out of one, and she really figured out how to break out of that, and then broke out and then figured out how to let herself out of the other. So the joint you see behind me here, right, back there in the corner, with the door open, when you close that door, in order to shut it, you have to lift it, push it, and then it slides down. Well, this fucking bitch, if you don't push the latch in, she knows how to lift that fucking door up and open it. She's done that to me a few times. Like, I caught the bitch one day. I was about to leave, turned around, came back in because I forgot something, and the bitch was letting herself out. And that's how she does it. She takes her nose, lifts up the whole fucking gate, and pushes the shit open. Very fucking smart, right? Now there's another crate in the back that she literally broke out of that one because she figured out how to hit the gate and make the shit collapse inwardly. And once she's fucked up all the wiring there, trying to, push the gate so it's just kind of warped. And when she hits the shit hard enough, it actually falls in and she's out. Like, when I tell you these motherfuckers, man, I think really Art was on to something so motherfucking fire. It kills me that dudes kind of got away from it a little bit. I want to take it back there. I want to literally keep that original flame. I want to keep that original vision. I want that heat. I'm not worried about producing 110 pound dog. If the dog gets to that size naturally, that's fine. But the key to it is the dog has got to carry that motherfucking weight like it's a 50-pound dog, right? I don't want to see a fucking 110-pound dog. That shit. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Indeed, Pump. Indeed, and that's that. You see, so even if you're going to do something like that, call it what it is. I mean, American Sentinel Canines is doing this thing. I don't see no problem with the band dogs he's creating. My dude Bando for Life doing this thing. I don't see no problem with the band dogs he's creating. You don't see no health problems. You don't see none of that going on. So why call it what it's not? Call it what it is, right? Let it compete in the all breed pull shows and shit like that, and them working breed pull shows where they just don't give a fuck what the dogs breed, and go campaign your dog there. Why call it something that it's not? Fuck up mad niggas paperwork, right? Selling the dog is something that it's not. I don't understand the point of that, B. I don't understand the point of that. I consider that ethically questionable, right? I'm not gonna really like knock nobody, but to me that's ethically questionable, right? I'm not gonna sell you a pup off of Henny and Bull and tell you it came off of Bull and Raina. That's really where you need to be. Like that's taking it back to the original program, the original intention. You know what I mean? Like my whole shit is that at some point, once I have the litter on the ground that I'm looking for, there have to be some adjustments made to the entire program to really make sure we're getting what we're after, right? Um, with my shit is, I gotta like, all right, my dog know how to close his mouth. That's great. Um, but I'm a motherfucker to say my dog could use more mouth, and when I say more mouth, I'm talking bigger, healthier teeth, right? Bigger, healthier teeth, bigger, stronger, thicker teeth, right? Um, so that's something that I have to breed into the program, but first find out where it is. You know what I mean? Um, you have to be careful because when you get a lot of these apple-headed dogs, if they were bred strictly for that appearance, not much attention was given to structurally sound things like teeth. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, trust me, Pump. Trust me. Man, listen. You have to understand that I'm a very picky motherfucker, bro. If I walk into the mall, I may walk around in that motherfucker for 4 hours before I find a one pair of shorts. I really am. All right, these I can walk out with. When I chose my boy, I chose him understanding that there was probably some things I'm gonna want to fix. Right? There's probably some other shit that I'm gonna want to do because number one, I'm getting him as an adult already. He's already a fully formed adult. I can introduce him to some shit and you know make an impact with him with certain shit, but he's already formed. So whatever habits and tendencies and traits that they wanted to instill in the dog, that's what that in that sense it's still their dog. Um, so that was first. Like I needed to raise this thing from the ground up. But hold up. What we talking about, right? Oh yeah, them pedigrees. Indeed, punk. And that's my whole point about it take a while for a motherfucker to pull a trigger, yo. I mean, I could have had a few litters on the ground by now if I was really wanted to. If I really wanted to be about selling some fucking pups, shit, I could have. I could have put some shit on the ground. But I'm very selective about what I want to breed to. You know, what I mean, I got a million motherfuckers around here that want to, you know, oh yeah, you just like, but like at the end of the day, why am I breeding my dog to your dog? like because you like the way my dog looks, and what, like, and then what, like, what's it, what's the point? Um, Motherfuckers do that. They want to they want to breed their dog because just because they bitches in heat, huh? Right? Like, you feel like your dog is a good match for my dog because your bitch is in heat, and my dog is a dog you like. Mm. It's so fucking crazy, man, because here I am, like, literally, it took me 2 years to pull a trigger on Raina, right? Or to make that move, right? And that was made only because of, like, she literally not just has the blood, but she came off the dog, right? That I wanted to see. Like, I did, yeah. That is a dog that I would have in my yard, right? That is a dog that I would have bred, right? I like that dog that much. So not only is that dog carrying the same blood as my dog, is he a half brother to my dog, but he was brought to a bitch who was, oh, man, this, or he's the product. My bad. He's the product of my dog's father and a bitch that was just phenomenal. And I think I gotta find a way, man, where I could kind of put y'all onto my shit and show you on my screen where I'll show you pictures of War Dancer, and I mean phenomenal bitch. And there are times when Raina reminds me, she looks so much like the War Dancer bitch. She's smaller, um, and more streamlined, but she definitely has those elements of her grandmother. And that's not a bad trait to have at all. Them dogs can be run. They got that wind, they got that bite, they got that drive, they got the size. This is exactly, it's exactly what we after. Real shit, Rage. When I tell you, like, listen, my shit is that I'm trying to I'm trying to build like a small network, man, of motherfuckers that's just really serious about keeping the heat. You understand? Like, if we all got that vision, man, where we know that we want to keep these heat in these dogs is about catch work, they're about performance, they're about doing what their genetic makeup says they can do. Like, then we have an excellent pool of blood to work from, man, that we can cross in and out of and do so safely and produce fire ass motherfucking dogs, right? Not only fire, but like good dogs, right? Good dogs. I've seen you working with Rage, and I've seen, that obedience work at that early age, and that's so key. That's just, you know what I mean? That is super, super fucking key. So heard y'all. Yeah, like, at some point we really need to, like, get us a little conglomerate going, man. Because at the end of the day, um, it's very few motherfuckers. It's rare that you find people with the same mindset that's really understanding the origin of the breed, that's understanding the origin of the game, how it actually came into being, and saying, listen, let's keep this alive. Let's keep doing this. You know what I mean? That plug to DRHK, that like that's classic shit right there. You know what I mean? And even before that, man, like, there's very little people, man, that will understand the importance of bringing that blood home like it really needs to be brought. But I got a pup coming soon, y'all. Uh, and I think maybe we're gonna talk about that pedigree a little bit. Um, I'm also trying to think of some ways, man, where I can do some things because my boy may tolerate a male pup for a little while, but I don't know what that's gonna look like in 7, 8 months. You understand? Um, Especially when the motherfuckers start putting on some size and the motherfuckers start sniffing around the females when they go in the heat. Yeah, that's gonna get interesting. Real shit. Real shit. Real shit. But listen, y'all, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm not gonna keep y'all up. We definitely been chopping it up, man. I don't, I'd be here till 6 o'clock in the morning fucking with y'all, man. Like I love this cam shit, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all chiming in, man. Yo, pump, that's the real shit. But I noticed that Raina never did. Raina never went through her fucking. Matter of fact, me and one of the partners was just talking about that. Like this bitch never went through her lanky stage. Um, she's always been pretty fucking. Like she showed a little lankiness at maybe 3, 4 months, but like this bitch has always been kind of bulldogish looking. And rage, I hear what Pump is saying, like because it is a lot of fucking lot of dogs out there, man. And when you look back in the pedigree, you see that bus shit, that Eddington shit, you know what I mean, or something like that, man. I think I was looking at one pedigree and it kind of surprised me. It did surprise me because the fucking Whopper dog was definitely in there. And I was like, oh shit. Um, but for the most part, you know, I've been targeting shit. Like I'm not bringing nothing into my camp B that's not off of the Havoc Animal line, right? The Havoc Animal coming off the Chief Dog, very good fucking dogs, right? Um, the Bruiser line coming off the Chief Dog, right? Very good fucking dogs. So the Bruiser Animal stuff, I could vouch by all day. Um, Another dog, the Picasso stuff, Pet House's Picasso, you know what I mean? And his son Primo, good fucking dogs, right? Um, yo, what up, man? Though, yeah, man. I was trying to shut this shit down a minute ago, but I did that. Like I'm still chopping it, man. Yeah, yeah, man. But it's like with certain shit, you gotta breed that in. You know what I mean? You gotta be like with the can't stop, won't stop. Real shit. Um, when you breeding, when you breeding anything tight, you're gonna see dogs get compact, smaller. You know, they just tend to do that. You understand what I'm saying? In order to keep that from happening, keep that blood from getting too tight, you always got to go out. And that's another thing I'd be saying about these cam dogs. Motherfuckers be trying to scream like these dogs is somehow bred with all sorts of different shit. Do you know how creative you got to be and matching your motherfucking dogs so that you don't go too tight. This cam shit is bred tight as fuck, yo. When you go in them pedigrees, shit, man, you start seeing the same motherfucking, like everything goes back to Chief and Duke, man. And particularly, and you might as well say everything goes back to Duke because Chief is out of Duke. Chief just happened to be the dog that Art was like, I don't want this in my program, right? But no question, Chief threw some phenomenal fucking dogs. He threw phenomenal dogs. When when Bruiser came around, right? The Bruiser dog. Check out that pit, like check out that dog. Check out when you see Jack Boots and then you see a picture of Bruiser, you would think that one spit the other out and there's really no relation there. But that's how strong the blood was. That's how fucking strong that blood was. Like, I should say, there's no immediate relation there. But like, when you look at that tree, when you look at that whole strain, Jack Boots on one side, Bruiser on the other, it's like, oh shit. Damn. Jack Boots could have spit Bruiser out. And Jack Boots was from a whole different line. Bruiser was from the Chief side. Indeed, Chief was the cornerstone of Camelot Pits. He did very well through Chief, man. He did very well. And understand, from what I understand, Art didn't want Chief. Right? But old boy did his thing through Chief. When you put that kind of blood in your program, you are really, really like, you kind of, you are really correcting a problem, yo. You understand what I'm saying? When you put that kind of blood in your program, what you're really doing is you are definitely correcting a lot of shit that's wrong in the game right now. So that's my whole purpose for doing some of the shit I'm doing, y'all. And since we cannot, properly test the dogs, the only real way to do that is to let the dogs do the catch work. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start trying to link with some of my people in the South, you know what I mean, where they run them hogs. You know what I mean? And I don't mind sending a couple of dogs down there just to see how the dogs turn out or to start the dogs out. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is the type of shit that we need. We need the dogs turned on. We need the dogs worked, right? We need to see exactly what the dogs are capable of today. Unfortunately, our dogs haven't been tested in generations, right? Some people are still doing their thing, but we need to see exactly what's in. It's kind of like Capital One. What's in your wallet? you know. Ray said, I noticed a lot of these dudes have well-known kennels. I noticed can't read a pedigree. yeah. And then there's that. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not spelled out like it is online in APBT online, then they can't, you know what I mean? Like, you put them old-fashioned, like, regular pedigrees in front of a motherfucker, and they sitting there, they can't trace that tree. They don't, you know what I mean? It don't compute in their head. Real shit, yo. Real shit. I think Down South Pitts is still around. If I'm mistaken, Down South Pitts is still around. I think you hit that on the head, Pump. I don't knock what either direction like the dogs went. You know what I mean? I'm just more interested in keeping that original working intent. And I feel like a lot of people that latched on to the Chief Productions were people that were more, um, they had more of a love for the form than they did for the actual motherfucking functions of the dog. They like to say, "Oh, my dog is badass and he looks badass," but they're not really doing anything with the dog, right? And a lot of that crept into the game. Um, and some of them were people that had, they had a little dough, right? They had a little money. Um, so they could do things like, go show their dogs and, you know, all of this other kind of, real creative shit to do with the dogs as opposed to actually hunting the dogs. You know what I mean? And using the dogs for the catch work that they was originally designed for. So for me, that's like we're moving in the wrong direction. We're creating another dog. What you're creating is that working pit bulldog. That's what you're doing, right? Like when you start breeding dogs for weight pulling, that's a whole different purpose, right? So now you're breeding working pit bulldogs. I'm not doing that. I'm breeding dogs for catch work. I'm breeding dogs according to their original intent and purpose. That shit in the root stock and of their DNA, that's what the fuck is coming out, right? That's what we're putting on the ground. If it's not acting like that, if it's not performing like that, if it's not structured to enable that, then it's not part of the imperial program, right? We can't, you know what I mean? We can't work with that. So while there's nothing wrong with using, um like if you have band dogs, there's nothing wrong with using mastiff for your band dog program. That is as it should be. But what type of mastiff are you going to use? And with the boy Eddington and the Chevy stuff, I just feel like that was Dogue de Bordeaux. I don't know for a fact what he used. I don't really know shit about the man's program. But to get that consistent red, that's got to be Dogue de Bordeaux. That's got to be French Mastiff. And if you do the math on them dogs, you do the history on them dogs, the Turner Hooch dog, that's not the kind of dog you want to bring into your program. That was another dog bred primarily for form because of the red coat and the red nose, and bred primarily for form and show ring. Like it wasn't really bred. It came from working stock or from working breeds, other mastiff breeds, but it was really designed more of a show dog. It bugs me out. I don't understand it, yo. Um, I'm not gonna shit nobody, yo. Honestly believe every old famous dog man was in their motherfucking backyard, like Bando said, doing the backyard boogie, man. I believe all them niggas was back there cooking, bringing out what they was bringing out, and then they let the paperwork say what it needed to say in order to sell the dogs, man. I honestly believe that's what they was doing, yo. You understand? If you ever see Joe Corvino's Braddock, right? Look at Joe Corvino's Braddock, dog. When you look at the head, just like when you look at this dog, it don't look like nothing you would consider American Pit Bull Terrier today. Definitely don't look like these little whippets and you know these little greyhound looking dogs that they be having at these ADBA shows and shit. You know, not to knock the ADBA. We registered. I got my APBT online account, you know, all that. But I'm just saying, right? It's ridiculous, right? To see all the different forms that the American Pit Bull Terrier takes and suddenly decide that because of a dog's structure, it can't possibly be American Pit Bull Terrier. Just look at the pedigrees, man. Look at all the shit from beginning to end. I think I posted at the end of one of my videos a picture of a dog, advertisement where the dog was advertised at 103. 103. And this shit is history, bro. Documented history. So for motherfuckers to be acting the way they act, you know, some of my purists, man, like they need to get that shit a rest. I'm sorry, man. There's nothing pure about the American Pit Bull Terrier. Look at the Mayday dogs, and then go look at a Red Coon Hound. Explain to me why the Box Terrier dogs that came over here from England and Ireland had the short ears with maybe a little flop. And explain to me why them fucking big Mayday dogs and them Hollingsworth motherfucking Prince dogs and them Hollingsworth Bulldogs got them long fucking floppy ears. Got that long structured body with the deep motherfucking chest. Come on, man. Come on, man. Pump said Google Dragon of Dagger and tell me if that's a pit bull. You know what? Let me see if I can. I don't know. Y'all might lose me if I fuck around and try to Google some shit. But Google of Dragon of Dagger. Okay, but now let's look at that. Hammond's dogs, right, was off the alligator stuff. Big ass motherfucking dog, right? So now, if a Hammond's dog can go from the size of a whippet to a size like fucking Plumber's alligator, what are we really talking about, right? What are we like the just the range of what the American Pit Bull Terrier is? You couldn't even you look at the Mojo dog off of Cross Kennels, right? Um Rhino Kennels, I'm sorry. Marty Cross's Rhino Kennels, right? That dog, old family red nose, but when you see that dog, man, that dog could pass for a Camelot dog. You understand? That dog could pass for one of the larger danger zone dogs. Yeah, Zebo dogs were as big as Mayday dogs, but where did those floppy ears come from? Where did that long, deep chest come from? You put a fucking you put Hollingsworth Bull side by side with a red coonhound, and you tell me them crackers down south, man, didn't mix some shit in there, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like them motherfuckers was in their backyards, man, digging up some shit. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me Hollingsworth Bull is off that same initial stock that came over here from Ireland and England and all that shit that that shit that Con Feely and Kobe brought in here. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can see it plain as day. Um, Even the rear leg structure, the rear leg structure. You look at some of the older fucking pictures, and you see those dogs had, you know, they were pretty square dogs, man. That long, lean thing didn't come into being until much later. It came in much later, and that long, lean dog, man, I believe was a direct reflection of coonhound being bred into the dogs. And I've always suspected, especially motherfuckers that are breeding catch dogs, right? That's the ultimate catch dog. If you got a dog with the wind of a hound that could chase a motherfucker down for days, and then you put some motherfucking fire in that dog from the pit bull, that's gonna really go ahead and snatch that dog. Different paradigm. And that's my whole point. So when you start getting into some shit where you literally like you are really trying to um control and hone in, isolate, what's hot, what's good, and what's working. You have to be real careful, man, because like Maurice Carver, man, is legendary. Oh my God, to have a Carver bred dog, especially back during a certain time, shit, you were the shit. But the fact is, you don't know how that dog is bred. I don't give a fuck what you say. If it got Maurice Carver's name on it, you don't know what the fuck you got. Pure and simple. Point blank, period. And he obviously wasn't the only one. He was just the one that was more public about it. Yeah, I mean, these box dog purists, man, that think the dog can only be a certain size and in order to be this, in order to be that, so forth and so on. I get you. You're a box dog purist. So you're thinking strictly from a term of dog on dog, right? And those are very controlled settings and situations where the weights on the opponents are carefully controlled. The settings, everything is carefully controlled, right? So two dogs are being matched. Likely both dogs are empty, right? Both dogs have been conditioned for a great keep, so forth and so on, and they are evenly weighted. That's not what happens in the woods. That's not what happens in the field. In the field, there's no telling what comes out of there, right? There's no telling how that goes down. There's no telling what the dog runs up on. And so it's okay to think that that little 30, 40 pound, whippet and in that little square circle is all that the dog is about. But the reality is that this dog has got a history for being bigger, better, and going harder than this little blood sport you've created. So that's my thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like the dog is an extremely multi-talented animal, and there's no way in the world you can continue to, just kick it to the curb. This is the thing that bothers me today. Wow. Word pump. Real shit. Real shit. Go ahead, pump. Pump said Carter wouldn't even allow us on his yard because we were black. Like, and don't get me wrong, it probably wasn't just because y'all was black. It was probably because that motherfucker was doing shit on his motherfucking yard. You understand? That he didn't want nobody to fucking know about. You understand? The nigga was breeding shit on his yard. And he was doing some fuckery. And he didn't want nobody to know about that. That's probably why he really didn't want y'all on the yard. Black folks gonna figure some shit out. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like when it comes down to it, yo, they said the motherfucker Hollingsworth was a racist. You know what I mean? Now, it really comes down to, man, like, what are you in it for? You understand what I'm saying? Um, can you continue to call it an American Pit Bull Terrier if Bloodhound is obviously a part of his motherfucking pedigree or a part of his genetics? You understand what I'm saying? What is this dog? So when you all over the map like this from the beginning, you understand what I'm saying? You can't look at somebody else's dog, somebody else's program and say, oh, yo, you can't do that. That's not a pit bull. Bando for Life got dogs that's more pit bull than pit bulls I've seen. And the man tell you openly, I bred Mastiff into my shit. So at the end of the day, what are you really, really, what's your real intent? Because we live in a society where you can't really, this is what kills me about the APBT purists. And I've said this before. You screaming that the APBT has a genetic history. It's a fighting dog. But you know that fighting dogs in America is illegal. But you don't want fighting dogs or breeding fighting dogs to be illegal. So you want to be able to breed fighting dogs, but they're not going to fight. And you said yourself that if a line is not proven, it's basically Amstaff, right? It's a show dog. So your APBT purists have a dilemma to resolve. Either you want the world to view the APBT as a pure fighting dog and nothing else should be part of that, right? Shouldn't be no human aggression, no nothing. Or, and if you want them to view the dog as a fighting dog, that means you're perfectly willing to have the dog banned because dog fighting is banned. So why are you breeding fighting dogs if dog fighting is banned, right? It doesn't make sense. The law says, well, listen, if dog fighting is banned, then why do we need breeders of fighting dogs? So we ban that breed, right? We ban that breed, period. We ban dog fighting. We ban fighting dogs. That's logic. That makes sense. So what you APBT purists need to do is stop fucking touting your dogs as fighting dogs. Get back to that little PD, that PD and Little Rascal shit, right? These are family fucking dogs, all around dogs that are capable of doing a whole lot more than dog fighting. And that's the motherfucking problem that we're really having today. I'm not surprised, Joe. Like, I can see bigger dogs coming from certain lines, man. My whole thing is, you know, there's no need to lie about what's in the dog, right? Like, if you're really doing what you're doing to improve the breed or at least improve your line of dogs, say, well, listen, this worked for me. Why do you still have to insist that this is what the dog is? If you brought in an outside element to improve this line of dogs, well, then that's a good thing. If the improvement takes and it's consistent and it can be reproduced, then that's a good thing. Why do you have to sell it or bill it as something else? That to me is underhanded. That's a little low rate. I think honestly, I'm gonna be careful what I say on this live. But Don Mayfield, and that some real shit, yo, some real shit, rage. Like, y'all see what it is. All I fuck with is OGs. You understand? And especially before the era of the internet, right? Especially if a dude had you know had to take a couple of vacations, you know what I mean? Take a few of them state vacays and shit like that. Motherfuckers try to elevate their hustle, right? Motherfuckers is trying to think of that next level shit where it's not just about some average street corner shit, right? Any motherfucker, can do it hand to hand, but dog breeding and dog sport is a whole business, right? It's a whole fucking industry. Honestly, very rarely are the breeder, the conditioner, and the handler all the same person. That's a lot of motherfucking jobs in between there. You understand what I'm saying? The care, especially now, that has to be selected, that goes into trying to organize an event. Like, we have to have that business approach. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we had to have hustle, period. We had to have a hustle, man. We had to have something else, man. And I agree with you, Hotep. It's real shit. That's real shit. Like, motherfuckers, the dog breeding is a lot like the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? Um, a motherfucker with great photography can sell a dog with bad hips. You know what I mean? Like, real easy. Stud that fucking dog out. the technology shit. Listen, man, you post a couple of dogs, motherfuckers swear to God, oh my God, that dog is so great because he's seen some pictures online. Don't know shit about that dog, right? So he contacts the motherfucking guy who posted the pictures. Listen, man, I would love the fucking stud. What's the stud fees? This dude is gonna collect the dog, send some shit, do an AI, send some shit frozen for this guy to do an AI. He's on his own. He don't know what the fuck he just put up in his fee, man. God knows how much he spent on that straw or those straws. Fucking game is so fucking is so crazy, man. I had a motherfucker tell me, he said, "Joe, man, he went to a motherfucker's yard, right? Pretty famous Camelot breeder, pretty well known Camelot breeder. Said he went to this motherfucker's yard. This motherfucker had so many dogs, um, and the dogs were jacked the fuck up. So you see this motherfucker post regularly, and he's posting dogs, but he's posting the same dogs over and over, same couple, 2 or 3 dogs, right? And this motherfucker's got hundreds of dogs. What does that tell you? Posting 2 or 3 dogs, and he's got hundreds. He's only got a few he can post, and that's the shit I'm trying to get away from. That's the motherfucker running. You know, they just putting it out there to be putting it out there. It really does come down to a motherfucker's purpose for getting involved, man. I can honestly say, man, I love my dogs. I'm jealous. I don't even like my dogs showing affection to other human beings. Fuck out of here. And I know that they good dogs and people naturally want to pet them but shit, man, fuck that. I don't want you looking at another motherfucker's hand. But that's how I feel about my dogs, right? And that's what makes me want to make them the best that they can be. Right? That's what makes me want to pull the best out of my dogs that I can possibly pull out of them, and in turn allow them to pull the best out of me. Right? Because I don't have that concept that I own dogs. I have the concept that I belong to the dogs. And it's a fact. Like, I belong to these dogs. Everything that happens around their well-being. What's best for them, what's next. Right? Even if it means putting them on the back burner so I can do something that's in their best interest. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, everything revolves around them. Yeah, real shit. That fight game shit, you know, again, the fucking internet has changed the fucking game, right? So now you got boxers, you know, 12, 13 fights, and they famous like they've been champions for 20 years, yo. And these are fucking young upstarts. Now, mind you, they got good skills and they putting on a good display. But these dudes ain't had no haggler. Like, these niggas is making a kind of money on their fights. At the stage of the game, it's like ridiculous, yo. It's ridiculous. Again, I don't knock nobody hustle, but social media makes motherfuckers famous that shouldn't be famous. You understand? Um, I realized that from the entertainment industry when, you know, I've worked with quite a few artists, you know what I mean? On some independent shit. And this whole format here, like this whole YouTube thing, you started getting motherfuckers who was developing a following, not because they could spit, not because they had some skills, not because they could produce some shit, right? But simply because they had a certain image that they projected, and that helped to sell the music, right? Before, you sold the music sold, and then you made the video, right? Like the music sold, and then you made the video. Now it's like dudes is like it's all kinds of shit going on now. I don't even get it, yo. Yo, it's have you ever seen how some of these motherfuckers like everybody's got their own way of seeing shit. But when you tell me, man, like you basically breeding puppies, right? You breeding puppies. Um, you rolling puppies. Like now, if the litter is hot, it's hot. They get into it on their own. Shit like that happens. But I got motherfuckers literally trying to turn on a 3-month-old pup against a 6-month-old pup or a 9-month-old pup. You know, and I'm sitting back looking at these niggas like the blood, the process, the genetics. It's either there or it ain't, bro. You doing all that extra. You don't know what you're doing. These motherfuckers hopping on the mic and all this entertainment shit. Nothing. Nothing. It really is what you could sell to the public, man. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the sad part of it. You know, um, I'll be honest and say I never really envisioned sitting here doing a live about this Camelot shit. You understand what I'm saying? My purpose for making these videos was originally just to document the progress of the dogs. This is why I call it shit Imperial Diaries. You know what I mean? Because this whole program is a work in progress, and I'm still kind of doing the math with the pieces to the puzzle. So the fact that the beautiful part about it is we can network, right? Like you got a bunch of motherfuckers of like mind that all sit down and say, "Listen, man, I fucks with you and what you're doing, like what you're producing. Let's link," right? That's one thing. Um, it bothers me so much that motherfuckers can't just trying to link and make simple moves, right? Real simple moves. That kind of shit is like, some people call it the legacy of slavery. You know what I mean? It's the chains of psychological slavery. Um, but there's a real inability at times, man, for people to get together, man, and push a program forward and keep something, really like keep it dedicated to what it's supposed to be. Um, when you have that, right, it makes sense to capitalize on it because once you start what you're doing, people will look from the outside and say, "Oh, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it." because they always gonna hop on a wave. I play the stock market a lot. I do a lot with forex. You know, the foreign currency exchange. Right. Like, what is he breeding now? God only knows, B. I mean, that motherfucker done thrown everything. Blues. I did. I think he had some blues. I could have sworn I seen some blues in his shit. Matter of fact, wasn't one of Hulk's sons of blue? The fuck was the dog's name? I think he named the dog Kobe or something, Cody or Kobe, some shit like that. I don't know. But I'm like I'm over this whole, you know, motherfuckers just throwing anything up or throwing anything out there because it's shiny, it glitters, and it gets attention. I guess they call that clout chasing now, right? And a lot of motherfuckers is doing shit just for clout. Whereas here I sit, I'm trying to produce a motherfucking animal, man, that I would want buried beside me in my grave. You understand? Like when it's all done and said, man, when I go to lay down and this motherfucker done lay him down right next to me, man. And that's just how I feel about mine. So what I'm trying to produce is just that. You understand what I'm saying? Something, man, that a motherfucker would literally like. He understands this dog is gonna give his life for him, and he's at that point where he's gonna do the same for his dog, man. These dogs can inspire that type of loyalty and love in a person, and I believe that people who are breeding for the form and the look of the dog are missing that. They're missing out on that key fucking ingredient. Like how how do you neglect just the outright passion that they have for being in your presence and working off your lead? Like when you see a dog, like I was working with Raina the other day and I had the Coyote hide out, went out in the woods, we stashed it around, let it track some scent, shit like that. And then we just built her drive for the pelt by, hanging it up in a tree and really making her work to have to go and get that thing. And in every instance, no matter how high I hung that motherfucker, she could go up there and get it. Finally, we had burned it out enough and put that thing up so high that she couldn't quite get to it. She just couldn't quite get to it. So after she tried everything on her own, she spun around, turned around, looked at me, and I called her to me, calmed it down, let her take a real good look at that thing, just like we did with that possum, man. She settled in. She stopped bucking. She stopped doing all of that. I let her go, man. She took off, went straight up the side of that motherfucking tree, snatched that motherfucking coyote pelt down, and stood there and looked at me like, motherfucker, did you think I wouldn't? That's what I love about my motherfucking dogs, right? And that's what I want other people to have. Right. And my wife and daughter won't get tired going up and down the stairs. Shit. Listen, Hotep, I hear exactly what you're saying, right? But with all the motherfucking beef, right? With all the facts, right? About Merle coat patterns, right? And it was specifically stated in the original motherfucking reclassification documents regarding the American bully, Merle coat patterns would not be accepted. What is the new rage in the American bully now? What's the latest and craziest fucking rage? Everything is fucking Merle. If you ain't got Merle, you ain't got a bully. Come on. Motherfuckers don't even want to hear Ghost Try no more. They don't want to hear Tricolor this and Blue Nose that. They don't want to hear none of that shit. They want to hear Merle. Merle. And it's a fact that it's a fucking genetic defect. I don't get it, Joe. I don't get it. And the worst part is the registries, instead of teaching and informing the public, they are allowing the public to inform them. Well, what the fuck am I coming in you to register my dog for? How are you the fucking expert if suddenly the public is informing you about what is and what isn't? What kind of registry is that? What makes you an expert somehow in the breed to dictate standards and such? And motherfuckers is dictating to you what you should be recording. How can you expect the breeders to have any motherfucking ethical standards if the goddamn registries don't? Right? What the fuck is the point of that? How can you tell me there is a category in a registry as called a hybrid dog? A hybrid. That's an actual. So you might as well just register all band dogs. They need their own fucking registry. If you can just, come up with pugs and bulldogs and throw that shit together and call it a bully. I saw some shit on my page the other day, man, on my Facebook page. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God, Joe. Listen, bro. Thank you, Pump. Thank you. Because he damn sure he never respond to me either. He damn sure he never respond to me. The motherfucker actually tried to hit me on my Facebook page. I shut him down over there. The motherfucker don't even come on my YouTube channel. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, dude. I mean, honestly, for a motherfucker to say he's a master of anything is a very bold statement. Masters are rarely challenged, right? Saved by another master. So when you talk this shit and all of that, and obviously you're not properly informed, you're trying to come off as someone who is, but again, you're clout chasing. Again, you one of these people that said, "Oh shit, there's a sucker born every minute, and I'm out here to find that motherfucker." So, that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say about that, man. Like, Listen. The dude will never produce a fucking dog and bring it to your yard, right? The dude will never put his hands on a fucking Camelot dog and run them motherfuckers and then sit back and say, oh, these are not pit bulls. Because I guarantee you, if he brings some Camelot blood to whatever the fuck he's doing, he's going to make sure, he's going to learn real fast that you have to treat these motherfucking Camelot dogs just like you treat pit bulls. If you treat them any different, you're going to have a lot of fucked up accidents on your motherfucking hands. The authorities is coming for that ass to take them dogs because you will always have a problem until you respect this Camelot dog with its full 100% respect. You're not gonna play that fucking game. So dudes like that, man, I tossed them out the window. I done had to do this. I done had to get in there and separate these motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? 2 and 3 at a time. So that shit niggas is talking. Listen, I'm not gonna allow myself to get, a certain way, y'all. My bad. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like real shit, yo. Like sometimes motherfuckers go to shooting off their mouth and they say shit. And it's not even so much is the way is what they say, is the way they saying it. I can accept anybody disagreeing with me. But when you start, saying, when you outright calling a motherfucker a liar and shit like that, like, yo, listen, motherfucker, now you kind of stepping on toes. It's one thing to say you disagree with what I say based on this set of facts, circumstances, theories, or whatever. But to go in public and call me a liar. See, I'm old school like that. You've crossed the fucking line. You don't have to use the word motherfucker. You don't have to use the word nigger. I'm a grown fucking man. I ain't got no reason to lie to you about shit. So for you to go in public and say that I'm a liar, well, then, motherfucker, I get to the point where I want you to come and say that shit to my face. So that's why that's why I have to kind of like ease back some of that shit, man. I gotta, you know what I mean? And yeah, my bad, y'all. I don't mean to get like that, but that's the thing with me. That's the thing with me. I really don't play with people like that. He said, motherfucker probably can't read a pedigree either. Yeah. Yeah, real shit, yo. I wouldn't be surprised, yo. I wouldn't be surprised. I tell you though. I tell you. Takes all types to make the world go round, B. That's a fact. That's an actual fact. Nigga's such a pain in the ass. But yo, listen, I know I said this shit an hour ago, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this. It's 3:30 in the morning over here where I'm at, man. And I should have been let these motherfuckers get some rest. This boy's back over here to bother me again. You back up here to bother me again. He's saying, what you doing still up talking to them people, man? They talking about you, boy. It's all about you, boy. Huh? It's all about you. It's all about you. Smoke. Smoke. ¿Tú quieres? ¿Tú quieres fumar? ¿Tú quieres fumar? All right, all right, all right, all right. Stay, stay. Relax. You're such a good boy, man. Yeah, yeah, punk. Peace out, man. Raid, yo, we gonna definitely chop it again. I appreciate y'all coming out, man, hanging out with a fella, man. Like this has been real, man. It's one of the few times I really get to do this, man. And you know what I mean? Y'all know how I love these motherfucking dogs, man. And I appreciate y'all's love for them. So, yeah, man, let's keep doing it, man. Let me know when we'll do another one soon, man, and break out some pedigrees or some shit. Matter of fact, y'all let me know what y'all want to do the next live on. Hit me back and we do it. Shit. Until then, Imperial Flame, y'all. Keep that heat. All right, all right. All right, okay, man. All right, man.